know if you guys could hear me the whole time or not. But here we are. Ta-da! Vegan soda lady! Okay, so I have to be on mobile today, so I'm going to be a little slower at responding to everything. And everything's going to be kind of wobbly, but that's okay. Move this over. Alright, so why aren't you vegan? I got some resources over here. Actually, let me flip me. Oh, not the camera. Mirror. There we go. Yeah, now I want you to be able to read my sweatshirt. All right, so why aren't you vegan yet? 18 and older only. So my resources here. Oh, I don't need to hear that. My resources here. Dominion 2018 is a free documentary on YouTube. Please watch it. If you're going to continue to demand animals be used for you, you should know what you're demanding someone to go through. Excuse me, guys. Hold on a second. All right. So below Dominion, the documentary, there's nutritionfacts.org, which is just a great place to start when you don't know where to move next after realizing, you know, you're going against your own principles. How do you start acting in alignment with your principles? Nutritionfacts.org is a great place to start. They have the vegan Dailey Dozen. Just really easy checklist to make sure you get everything you need in a day. And it's just based off of whole foods, so you don't have to buy brand name anything. You find your sources, they just give you a checklist. And then we've got veganeasy.org right below there. They are just an organization to help you answer questions, to help you find community, to just whatever you need in order to get you to being vegan. Because there are real obstacles, and there's nothing wrong with saying, I need help. So Vegan Easy is there for you. So 18 and older only. And I guess we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm Vegan Stoner Lady. I'm here to ask you, why aren't you vegan yet? All right. No? Okay. I thought I did accept you. Are you just not wanting to come up? Hey, are you over 18? Hello? Are you over 18?
Look, this fishing rod, just so you know, I'm going to kill more animals.
Okay. Well, someone go report that guy, because he said he's going to go abuse more animals, so it's not good. Roto Monster, are you over 18?
Yes.
Cool. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, I enjoy hunting. I eat more meat probably than the average person. Yeah, I mean, it's good for me. I probably eat more like 85% meat as
Okay,
my
that's
diet.
great. Do you know what veganism means?
No.
Okay.
I just know I'm not
So
vegan.
veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So let's say someone wanted to exploit you and sell those benefits to other people. I principally wouldn't give your oppressor money because I know you're a sentient being who deserves respect.
Sure, but I'm human and they're animals.
Does what I just described align with your own principles?
No.
You would demand other humans be enslaved?
No, not
to you?
humans. Animals,
Okay,
sure.
so
Animals are
what
property.
did I just describe to you?
Animals are property, though.
So you can't
You're at the
focus?
top of the food chain, you know?
You can't focus?
What do you mean?
What did
I
I
can focus
say?
just fine. Yeah,
I think you're
enjoy
talking
eating.
to yourself. I think
Nah.
you're talking to yourself. What was my example then?
I mean, just because your example is broad and can be interpreted by
What was my
multiple
example,
different
sir? Yeah, you're laughing because you're a moron.
Oh, I'm a moron because I enjoy eating meat?
Well, kind of, yes.
So how did your ancestors survive? I mean, when we came from cave people and whatnot, how would they survive if they didn't eat meat?
So actually, our ancestors, for the most part, survived mostly off of plants. Our closest relatives are frugivores.
I doubt
We
it.
have evidence. So we have evidence today that we can thrive on a plant-based diet. Do you know what the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is?
Yeah, no, I'd rather not.
Why are you up here?
Because
How
I'm not
old are you?
vegan. Me?
Are you an adult? Like,
Yeah,
you
of
talk
course.
like a child. You talk like a child. This right here, you're a child. Like, it's really pathetic. Why do the clowns always laugh like clowns?
Hey, girl.
How's it going?
All right. How's it going today?
Oh, it's okay. My first person was already a meat clown, so.
I can hear that.
I mean, he's just sitting there talking to himself. I'm like, hello, are you here to have a conversation or just make your point and move on? Like,
Right.
this is what kills me about some of these dudes with this toxic egoism. They see someone that threatens them, and so they have to just come up and be loud and talk over and make no point, but just say talking points that they hear on Joe Rogan. And it's
Right.
like, I like to talk to somebody who actually wants to be receptive, not just an idiot. You know, like,
Right.
I understand that you can repeat things you saw on the internet, but let's have
Somebody
a
who doesn't have
conversation.
BMS or
Yeah,
MBS, excuse me, MBS.
MBS, yeah.
Meat
Yeah,
brain syndrome.
I it's funny. I heard I think I sent you the video that like 54% of at least the American population is like at a 6th grade mentality. So they can like barely read, they can barely reason. So I'm like frustrated now. Every adult that I talk to, I'm like, and you're procreating? Like,
Right.
oh my God, you can't even understand logic. You can't even take 2 seconds to talk about something you don't really know about without getting triggered.
Right. Then they all get triggered. They all get triggered. Yeah.
I get triggered
right.
too, but it's because, we're talking about an innocent being being abused and they're just being flippant and laughing about it. And it's like, how rude. Can we have a true conversation without you devolving into an 8-year-old?
Yeah. That's a lot of them are kids too. They just
that's true. These that I'm talking about are adults though.
Adults though, yeah. I
Really
know
make
it's
me
scary.
embarrassed to
This
be a human.
generation and last generation are very scary.
Yeah, for sure.
The kids growing up now, it's very scary.
Are you ready to take on some more people with me? Let's go. Dags, are you over 18?
Yes.
You're over 18?
Yeah,
Year were you born?
Yeah.
2005.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because animal products contain all the nutrients and plants don't.
Do you know what veganism means?
Not eating animal products.
It's close to something we do. That's something we do, but veganism is actually a stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. So if you were, this is the example I was trying to explain to that other guy. If someone imprisoned you and wanted to sell whatever they benefited from exploiting you, and they only did that because people gave them money, I wouldn't give that person money to keep exploiting you because you're a sentient being and I know you care what happens to you. Does that sound like it aligns with your own principles?
Okay, but how about, let's say, hunting?
You didn't answer my question.
Yes, it does.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan? What's stopping you from being vegan?
Because plants don't have a lot of micronutrients that we require.
Do animals deserve to go through a system that takes their life, family, and autonomy?
Oh, you see, you're talking about man-made morals, but
do animals
we humans
deserve
were
to have a
also
knife dragged across
animals,
their... Can you
and
focus, Drags? I asked you a question.
what's
Do
the
animals
question?
deserve to have a knife dragged across their throat? Do they deserve it?
What do you mean by deserve? There's no deserve.
They
in nature.
deserve it.
No one deserves nothing. It's
Do you think it's fair to cut an animal's throat when you don't need to?
you need to nourish yourself.
You can't answer my question, can you?
Yes, they deserve.
Is
You need
it
to nourish.
moral to slit an animal's throat when you do not need to?
Morals are man-made. I mean, what morals are you talking about?
Stop wiggling. Answer the question. If I had a dog here and I've got a fridge full of plant-based food, I have a dog here, and you know what? This dog tastes delicious. Slit, I'm going to make a snack out of him. Is that moral in your opinion?
Moral?
Dags,
Really
come on.
think about morals? I don't know.
You really,
I guess
really this
not.
hard?
I mean,
This is this hard for you? How old are you?
This is too. No, this
How
is
old are
too
you? Did you get
subjective.
through
This
high
is too
school?
subjective.
Yeah, you clearly cannot follow. Let's more simplify it for you, okay?
Okay.
If I had a dog here and I wanted to kick them for fun, would you, in your moral perspective, find that moral?
No,
Why not?
because that's animal abuse.
Oh, so you are against animal abuse and you do care about their experiences.
Well, if you're kicking a dog for fun,
Uh-oh, mommy's calling.
it brings you no benefit.
I get a benefit. I get exercise.
It's not beneficial.
So now is it moral because I get a benefit?
Well,
And eating
I
animals
could
is not
say- I
efficient
could say
either,
it's
but
not
who cares,
moral.
right? You get
Okay, let's
you get
say
taste
it's not
pleasure.
moral. Let's say
It's not moral.
Okay, what does that
I agree
change?
with you.
It doesn't change
So
that plants
don't you
have.
think? Okay, Dag. So let's say I kick this dog, and after I'm done kicking them, I eat them. Is it now moral?
Well, actually, when we used to hunt, we would sometimes.
When I kick this dog and then I eat them
torture the
afterwards,
animals
is it
to
moral?
adrenalize
Yes or no?
them.
Dags, I'm done
don't know
talking
what-
to you. You're a really disingenuous individual.
Wow.
I really hate talking to people like this where they're like, I know that you're right, but I have to be an asshole and a contrarian. And
Yeah.
it really drives me nuts. It's like, look, I can see right through you, dude. I can
Yeah.
see right through you. I can tell you're being an arrogant a-hole. Okay.
He's
I don't
being
need to
very
deal.
flippant. Very
Yeah,
flippant.
exactly. And it's like, you know where I'm going at, Dags.
Yeah.
I know that you're not this dumb. Okay. I know that you're picking up what I'm putting down. Kicking dogs is immoral. Guess what? Removing their head, that's escalating the violence. So if kicking a dog for fun is immoral, then by your logic, removing their head for fun is also immoral. You don't need anything from them. We can get everything from plants. If we
Yeah.
could have gotten there without you being the him and the han, we could have gotten to the point that there's nothing you need. Animals care about what happens to them, just like you, just like children, just like people who don't have moral agency, still care about who they are. They care about what happens to them. And you think because you have a situation where you're the oppressor, it's morally acceptable for you to just exploit them and violate their bodies. Use them for your sensory pleasure. That's like a grapist logic. I don't care about my victim's experiences. I only care about my pleasure. Gross.
It's totally true. Totally true.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like, people, you can't be this meat brain syndrome big time. But I'm.
Well, again, like I don't know if you
think
heard me
they are.
before. They're at the 6th grade level.
Yeah.
So they're still using emotion to decide on things. They're not using rational logic. They're just
Right.
using their emotions. And their emotions are, I need my meat pacifier. Like there's no logic to it. It's just, it's in my routine and I'm so scared to change because I don't know what's outside of that. And it's like, I know you're scared, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We've
You
all
will make
been
it out.
indoctrinated. We've all been indoctrinated, whether it's religion or eating a certain animal.
Yep.
We've all been indoctrinated.
We've all been there. Yep.
Yep.
I used to make fun of
Generational.
vegetarians and vegans. I was one of these a-holes.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Castro.
Not you.
Oh, I know, right? Not me.
Not you.
Castro, are you over 18?
Yes.
What year were you born? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Think about it, dude. You're not old enough.
Yeah.
You
that's
either
too bad.
know when you were born or you don't. Oh my gosh.
Oops. All right. Eric, when you pop in, let me know if you're over 18.
Becomes less clear in the distant past.
Eric, are you over 18?
To be assumed super oceans that
Eric, hello.
Yep.
some paleogeographers
Are you over
suggest the
18?
supercontinent warmed about 2.5.
Okay, well, you enjoy your TV show. Hey, Ozell, what's up?
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, how you doing this morning?
It's weird because like on my screen, my username shows up Eric Anderson, like on my like profile picture in the guest box. Interesting.
Oh, weird. I think that was the last person, though, wasn't it?
It was. And it like glitched out for me and then dropped me in. And I was like, huh. So I guess I'm Eric Anderson on my screen.
That's weird. You are Ozell on my screen, and I have
Okay,
it.
cool.
I have it streaming to YouTube, and it looks like you're still Ozell on there as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, I see that. So
Yeah. All right. Khalid. Let me know how to pronounce your name.
How's it going?
Hey, is it Khalid?
Yeah, it's Khaled.
Khalid, are you over 18?
I am. I'm 20.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Mainly because I believe that God provided us with animals as a source of nutrition for us, as it says in my holy book. But then again, if people don't believe in a holy book, it's harder to like take that word. And then the majority of patients that I do see, they usually have come to the hospital due to B12 deficiencies and nutritional deficits due to being vegan. And people will say,
Wow, so you have every vegan coming to you?
No, not to me. I work at the hospital. I see them there a lot.
What is the percentage of vegans in the population?
What's up?
What is the percentage of vegans that make up the world population?
I assume it's fairly low. So the
About
fact that
1 to 3%.
Yep, and the fact
How
that
the hell is all of 1% coming to you?
I never said all of them. I said I see quite a bit.
Yeah, you did. So
Can I
how many
ask-
vegans? Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I just ask really quick, how many of these people that are coming in with deficiencies are dying?
Are dying?
Yeah.
None of them.
Okay, can you tell me like how like
If they
what
don't receive
diet does a
interventions-
cardiologist definitely generally recommend to patients with cardiovascular diseases?
A heart healthy diet consisting of healthy
Generally
saturated fats.
generally a plant-based diet, right? A lot of cardiologists are also plant-based, but also like what's the
Not
number one
true.
killer in the United States?
That's not true.
Yeah, what's the number one killer in the United States?
Smoking.
No.
Cancer.
So obviously you don't like really know anything you're talking about because that's just statistically incorrect.
do you, for your age, do you work security or something?
No, I'm still in school.
What do
Yeah,
you do at the
exactly.
hospital?
Huh?
Oh my
What
god.
do you do for work at a hospital?
I'm still a student. I just go to the hospital a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you have a lot of patients though. Suddenly, you have like
no,
all the vegans.
No, not my
Yeah,
patients.
yeah. You said that you knew that all these vegans are B12 deficient, but you didn't know that most adult people, non-vegan, vegan, are deficient in something. In fact, many people are deficient in B12 because animals don't actually get the adequate amount of B12 in their diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
a fair
you're
argument.
literally-
I don't mean to attack
So
you
you're
guys. I just
literally,
kinda-
if you could just listen, you're
Uh-huh.
literally filtering your vitamins through someone's body. You could just take the same supplement that we give to the animals.
Okay. Well, I came on here to just
So why aren't
understand.
you vegan?
Do you mind if I understand your viewpoint on why we should be vegan? Because I'm not trying to attack anybody or
veganism-
force my viewpoint. I'm
veganism-
just curious. Go ahead.
Veganism is a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings. That means if someone was imprisoning you and only doing so because people pay them to do that because they benefit from your exploitation, I would principally avoid demanding that, right? I wouldn't put money to your oppressor because I know you're a sentient being who cares what happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't align with your own principles?
Fair point.
Okay, so that's all veganism is. It's just recognizing the victim deserves respect and that you play a part. You're demanding they be there. That you're the only reason they're there. Does that make sense?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so what's stopping you from living a life of respect for the animals?
I do have respect for animals. I don't abuse them. But like I
Are
told
you
you,
using them?
what's up?
Are you using them?
Yes, I don't
Okay,
abuse
so
them.
how do you use someone respectfully without their consent?
It's not somebody.
Are they a table?
They're not a table. They're not
Are they a subject or a something?
a subject.
Exactly. There's an individual having an experience. They care about what happens to them, just like you.
Okay, how do you feel about eating plants since plants are living organisms as well?
It's not about living, it's about sentience. So I eat plants because they don't make preferences. Animals do.
Ah, so your point is that they have a conscience?
No, they have sentience.
Okay.
Many of them are conscious. I believe that sentience is here. It's like sentience is binary. You either are or are not
Yeah.
experiencing life, having emotions. Consciousness has a little more to it, but they can sometimes be mixed. To me, consciousness is a little bit more. And there are some animals that care about what happens to them, but maybe they're not around totally aware of their surroundings. They still deserve respect.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you letting me up. I meant no disrespect.
Well,
I'm just curious.
I understand you're trying to run. I want to know why you're not vegan.
I told you. I told you that the first thing is I believe that God provided us with the animals to eat. I'm not trying to run.
Okay, so
I just came on here to understand.
my God says that it's okay for me to enslave non-vegans. Does that make it now moral and my right to do so?
God doesn't say that, so I don't concern myself.
My God
with that.
says that. I don't believe in your God. So
That's fine.
my book says that I can enslave non-vegans. So because my book says so, are you going to respect my religion?
Ooh.
No. What do you mean, ooh?
Can I ask a question
my
when you're
book doesn't
finished,
tell me
Visa?
to enslave human beings. It's
But my
completely
religion
different
says
than
so.
enslaving a
But my religion
animal.
says so. My God says that non-vegans were put on this planet for vegans to use.
You're comparing humans to. Are you? Do you see animals and humans on the same exact?
So I'm asking
table?
you a question right now, and you're trying to pivot away from it.
I'm not
trying
pivoting.
to ask you. So my question is, because it's in my holy text, does that now make it moral and my right
When
to
the entire
enslave non-vegans?
yes, when there's reasoning behind it. I'm not saying for you specifically.
My book says that non-vegans,
I said no like 10 times.
regardless of the situation,
I said
all
no like 10 times.
non-vegans. Okay, so then why does your religion justify violating someone else's body?
Because it's not a human, it's an animal, and God provided them for us to
Well,
have.
so what? Non-vegans are different from vegans. You're not in my group.
But
so
you're not
therefore
a
it's
human.
okay.
It's not a human. We're not enslaving
That's your
humans.
paradigm. You're
It's not
forcing
a
your
paradigm.
morals onto
Humans
me
and animals
now.
are two
You're
completely
forcing
different.
your morals onto me now. You're saying I should only care about humans, but that's your paradigm.
I'm not forcing anything on you.
You
I
don't
came up
have a
here to talk.
consistency. Veganism is consistent because we care about the same capacities, the things that are important, not our differences. We all care about what happens to us. We all want to avoid harm, animals included, regardless of what your holy text says.
Okay.
Ozell, please go ahead.
Khalid, if you don't mind me asking, what religion do you ascribe to?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, cool. I assumed so, but I didn't want to just take that as a matter of fact. All right, cool.
that.
So I'm a little bit familiar with the Abrahamic religions. I grew up in a Jewish family, but I spent time in Muslim communities for an extended period of time and got to learn a bit. Everything that I learned about Islam is that the Prophet taught compassion, correct?
Correct.
Yep. And I have mad respect for that. My question would be the first question, is consuming animals a requirement?
It's not. No.
It's okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we can both definitely agree that maybe 1,000 years ago, consuming animals was necessary, right?
Fair point. Correct.
Yeah, cool. So like when we think about the concept of compassion, right? Like you and I can both agree that if we were to like take a life when we don't have to, there would be nothing compassionate about that, right?
A human life, yes.
Well, why like
Even animal
specifically?
life,
So
even animal life,
hold on.
yes, yes,
Like
you're correct.
okay, so like, because I guess like when you keep saying human life, like sure, I can agree with you that humans and non-human animals are completely different.
Hmm.
But I will also say that every single animal is equally different from each other as well. It's not just humans are different than animals. But when you make the claim like it would not be compassionate towards non-human animals, I believe that even in the scripture, like the prophet, like had mentioned being compassionate towards non-human animals, right?
Yep, he always took care of cats and even dogs they had as guard dogs and took care of them very well.
Perfect. So like in respect to compassion and what the prophet taught, like how can we say like you can conclude that taking a life unnecessarily would not be compassionate, like treating animals in such a manner, like if we don't have to end a life, that would still not be compassionate.
I can answer you.
So how would that be in alignment with compassion? I just don't understand.
Okay, so I believe God created everything for a purpose, right? Some animals, it's not on us to decide, but some animals are like domesticated animals, like dogs. Some people use them as guard dogs. Some people use them to hunt. Cats are more domesticated animals. We don't unnecessarily hunt these beings, but I believe God created some animals as a source of nutrition for us, right?
Sure, but again, like
And that's
maybe
why
there
we
was
eat those. I'm sorry?
I was gonna say, like, I can agree with you that maybe, like, even if we did, like, concede that, maybe there was a time and place to where that had to happen, but right now it doesn't. And given the principles of compassion, even though animals exist today, like, that doesn't necessarily follow that it would be compassionate or we would be exercising compassion because we desire to take a life and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy it. Does that make sense?
No, 100%. It's a fair point.
Yeah, because I do know like a handful of Muslim vegans, and they became vegan once they kind of connected the dots and realized that that violated the concept of compassion.
Okay, I think it's a it's a fair point. That's why I came on here to understand. I didn't come on here to argue or force my point on
Yeah, I'm not
anybody.
trying to argue with you, and I'm actually really trying to level with you within your own framework
No, I think
instead
it's a
like
fair point. And like I said, I don't have my own patients. If I misspoke, my bad. But I've seen a few patients who did come in with deficiency. But we've also learned that if they supplement adequately and work properly with a nutrition plan and a dietitian, then they can be healthy human beings as well.
yeah, I can also grant that I'm sure there are plenty of extremely unhealthy vegans because
Yes,
veganism is not a diet itself, but there are extremely healthy vegans, and long-term
correct.
studies have demonstrated that consuming a plant-based diet can reduce risk factors of like most of the preventable illnesses, right? Like that, like type 2 diabetes, heart diseases, different types of cancers and
Yep, high
strokes.
cholesterol that comes from red meats. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, again, just think about it. Like, I cannot force you to do anything, but I can tell you that even within your own religious framework, like the prophet taught compassion and what we are doing today, given the lack of necessity for it, there's no compassion in that. Like, you cannot, like, there's no logical way to say, like, taking a life unnecessarily is compassionate.
I think it's the way we view it, because for us, I don't view it as we're just like, I don't go out of my way to abuse animals. I don't go out of my way to
I'm not,
unnecessarily harm
yeah,
animals.
I'm not saying that's your intent at all. Like, trust me, I used to be there too. Like, I used to consume animals. Like, I didn't give it a thought. Like, I thought it was something that was just normal to do. So I understand what you're saying.
Hmm. Like I said, I believe God created every creation for a purpose. Animals specifically to provide us with a source of nutrition, not all animals. But then again, you're right. I mean, but just because there's like more availability nowadays to like stray away from needing the meat, because like I told you, I agree with that
Do
point.
animals care what happens to them?
I do not. I'm not an animal. I wouldn't be able to know that.
So animals are sentient. We know that all sentient beings care what happens to them. So do animals, as sentient beings, do you understand that they care what happens to them?
I don't know, they might.
I just explained. They're sentient. Yes or no? Answer me. Are they
All
sentient?
right. I'm gonna head out. This host has a very short temper, but Ozell, I appreciate your calmness and talking to me.
Sorry. I don't appreciate being disrespected on my own live, so you can just eat it. You still weren't listening. You're just running away because you feel like, oh, okay, maybe some answers were made, but I don't have an argument, so I'm just going to run away instead of conceding that I'm wrong. And you know what? I'm glad that you're going to go look up information. You should. But just because your religion says something, that doesn't make it that you should do it. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. All right? There's a lot of religions that say human slavery is moral, right? But we don't find that moral. We don't respect that part of anybody's religion because that's not fair to the victims. It's not fair to the victims of your religion to use animals. And as Ozell pointed out so clearly, you don't need to. And he pointed out that you're even going against what your text preaches, which is compassion. How is it compassionate to take someone's life who wanted to live when you could have avoided taking their life? I'm sorry that I took over, Ozell.
Oh no, you don't have to apologize by all means, But yeah, I mean, like that's like one of the biggest things. Like everything I've learned and every Muslim has told me, even in these conversations, like the Prophet teaches compassion. There is no way you can logically conclude that unnecessarily taking a life is compassionate unless you change the meaning of what compassion is.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And even in the scripture, he extended that compassion to non-human animals.
Yeah.
There's a reason why there's halal, because back then, they needed a way to quote unquote. Yeah.
There was the hadith, I think it's hadith. Hopefully I'm not butchering that, where the Prophet was saying, about hurting no one that is as small as a sparrow. And that if you did for unnecessary reasons, you'll have to answer for that when you're going to wherever. So I hope people understand that, if you really believe that, if your religion was real, you're going to have to answer to someone higher to you on this, apparently, right? Just debating me means nothing. You know the truth, regardless of if I could really prove it to you. You understand that you don't need to do this. Ozell made that pretty clear. All right. Let's see. Jeddah? I'll try to keep it cool, guys. I did come in hot. So. Hey, Jita, are you over 18?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I think all your arguments against meat and in the favor of animals also apply on plants, because plants also live. They can feel when you cut them. They also
They
release some
can't.
sort of hormones to prevent
So I would
themselves.
encourage you to go read Debunking a Myth, Plant Consciousness. It goes over the last 50 years of studies that focus on plant sentience, of plants potentially being sentient. And they find that those studies that confirm that plants might have some kind of sentience are not reliably repeated. But those that explain all these phenomenons with just reacting to stimuli, those are reliably repeated. So as of we know right now, plants don't make preferences, but we know that animals do.
Can I ask Jita a question really quick?
Sure.
Plants also made
So,
preference.
Jita, let me just ask you a question really
It
quick,
also
right?
make
And
preference.
yeah, so Jita, let me ask you a question really quick before we get into that. Do you believe that unnecessarily oppressing or exploiting another being is unjustifiable?
It depend on a society value.
So
Some society believes,
no, I'm talking about
some
you.
don't believe.
I'm talking about you personally.
Well, it depend on my mental state. If I am emotional or I am nurtured into
Wait,
that way, then I can feel.
so let me
Otherwise, I will be
clarify.
not feel.
Let me ask a clarifying question because I don't want to misrepresent your position here. Are you saying that depending on your emotional state, like if your emotional state is a certain way, it is okay for you to oppress another individual?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go anywhere with this one if somebody actually feels like that.
Yeah. So you're saying you're for human slavery?
No.
Okay.
What if your mood says that you are? Then are you?
Then it depends, like how much I am powerful.
Okay. So what if you're the victim? What if someone has the power over you?
Then I will
that
fight.
moral?
Then I will fight for that.
Okay. So you don't think it should happen though? Because fighting against it means you don't want it to happen or you
I
want it
think
to stop.
Oh,
so you do think that someone
it will
should
be
exploit
happen.
you?
We
You
cannot.
do think that you do
we
think
cannot-
someone should exploit you? If someone can exploit you, they should.
If they have a power, they will try to exploit.
If someone, Jita, can you follow? If someone has power over you, should they have the right to exploit you?
I think they shouldn't have a right, but their
I agree.
nature.
They shouldn't. Just because they have power
But
over you
their
does not mean.
their nature will.
I don't care
try
what is. You're
to
focused
exploit
on what
me.
is. We're talking about morality. Morality is about how we interact with each other. I'm not talking about what is, because of course there's a lot of immoral things. But we're against that. We're trying to make change and work towards a world that we're all safe. Is there anything wrong with that? Go ahead, Ozo.
I was going to say, I just want to respectfully make sure there's not a language barrier and we're not talking over each other. So Jita, do you do understand what we're saying to you, right?
Yeah, I'm understanding.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure because I'm trying to be respectful and I think if we're talking over each other and not understanding what we're trying to say, it's just gonna kind of cause unnecessary friction or contention. That was it. That's all I wanted to just kind of make sure. So, if you had other stuff to say, by all means, please continue.
I'm not understanding one point that why you saying that we shouldn't kill animal, but we should kill.
Okay,
plants.
so this is what I'm trying to get at. Do you think within your own belief system, do you think that any form of oppression is acceptable to do to somebody else, especially when you don't have to?
But tell me, do you not considering oppression against plant?
I'm trying to get there, but listen, Jita,
it is a kind of
Jita, I told
oppression.
you. Please listen, Jita, I told you. I'm trying to get there. I'm just trying to understand your position in the first place. Let's include plants in that. Do you think that oppression, when you don't have to, is acceptable? Do you think that it is acceptable for you to oppress others when you do not have to? I don't care who you include in that.
To run a system, we have to oppress, but it should be a
I'm
limit.
not talking about if we have to. I'm talking about if we don't have to.
There is no way without suppressing someone.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
You can.
I'll give you a couple of examples. Is it okay for me to go punch somebody in the face unprovoked?
It's not only about punching. For example, you have a lot of
seriously, Jita, I just don't think you're here in good faith at this point because you're just not answering any of the questions. So I'm just gonna stop.
Yeah.
I was trying to make it as simple as possible, and
I was feeling the same frustration. I'm glad you spoke up about. I didn't want to be rude. I am a little more frustrated. I think it's just maybe it's partly burnout. Talking to people that are so disingenuous over and over again becomes tiring. It feels like I'm hitting my head against the wall sometimes. So I think I need to go back to maybe some meditation or something so I understand that these people that we're talking to, I was once them. I was right there. And I don't respond well to people being mean. But man, it is hard sometimes when you understand the urgency like we do. I'm actually having a hard time lately being patient with people who are so flippant and offhanded about abusing someone.
Yeah, I think that's normal. That's like I actually like toned back these discussions myself and like started engaging in different topics just to give my head a reset. And I noticed that like even doing that like for like a few days, like whether it be reading or whatever, like it kind of brought me back to like kind of being more like level headed. So
Okay. Well, I think that's what I need to do next is just find a
It
little.
can get frustrating.
It really is.
It was hard when I was involved with the dog and cat meat industry in China. It was very hard, and I suffer from PTSD because of it, because of all the years I was involved with it.
Yeah,
So
I bet you
it
saw
does
some pretty
get
horrific
tiring.
stuff.
I think the biggest thing to just remember, because we were always there, is it's easy to get frustrated with ignorance because we understand it, but we are still ignorant to things, and we were also more ignorant to things back then, right? So like,
Yeah.
it gets tough to lose sight of that, or like it gets tough, and we lose sight of that, but. Like, I think trying our best to kind of just remember that, maybe even like I like write down little things like next to me, like they are ignorant or take a breath and like just things to like help ground me
good
back.
idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I like that. I like that. That's pretty good, actually. I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull up the next person, and I'm going to grab my little pad of paper. That's a good idea. Let's do Kane. Next one, Jamie, I'll do you next because you keep begging, but we're going to do Kane right now.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Jane, how old are you for TikTok purposes?
Sorry, hold on. Could you speak up?
Kane, how old are you?
18.
What month were you born?
February.
Okay, what year were you born?
2007.
So, we're discussing veganism today, which is a principled stance against the unnecessary exploitation of other sentient beings. Do you understand?
Yeah.
All right. So, like, I'm assuming you're not a vegan.
Yep.
Okay. Why?
Well, wait. Before I get started, it's just a little thing I want to say. I'm not taking any sides, but I have been seeing a lot of people say that something about sentience and how plants react when you eat them or something. And I just want to say plants don't have pain receptors. When they have a reaction that all living beings have that, like trees.
Yeah, it's called basal cognition, right? Like every life is capable of basal cognition, but not all life has that capacity for sentience or that conscious experience.
Yeah, and like, why I'm not a vegan? I take a more economical stance since for me, I know there's nothing I can do, like, to change anything. If I go vegan, it'll change nothing.
Well, let me just pause you really quick. I just want you to understand, when you affirm the proposition that I am not vegan, you are implying that you are or that unnecessarily oppressing or exploiting others is a permissible or an acceptable thing to do.
When you say others, do you mean as in the animals, or like, because that it makes it sound like you're talking about like humans as well?
Well, I mean, humans are animals, right?
Yeah, but who eats humans, right?
So animals are also subjects, right?
Yeah.
They're not, or are? Sorry.
Wait, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Animals are also subjects, right?
They're living beings, yeah.
Okay, so when I say others, like I'm referring to other sentient beings. We are both animals. We are both, or we are all animals, and we are also all subjects. So it's not illogical to say others and refer to them as others. So that's what I'm saying. Like when you like affirm that you are not a vegan, you are affirming that you believe that it is like it is an acceptable and justifiable practice to unnecessarily exploit others.
Yeah, basically, I wouldn't really say that justifiable since I've been watching for a bit, and I do agree with a couple of your statements, but the way I think of it is if I become vegan and stop eating meat and all that stuff, I don't think it would change anything about the world or how if the animals killed since the farms will still be killing the animals though.
I'm gonna ask you one more question and then like hand it back over to the host since she's back.
Yeah,
But
no worries.
my last question would be like what you're saying essentially is like because you won't make a difference, you're going to act otherwise. So my question to you would be like, if the whole world abused their children, would you abuse children because everybody else was?
I wouldn't since I'm religious and that's just abuse. And yeah.
Okay, so you kind of understand the appeal to futility here. Just because everybody else is doing something and you might not influence a large change, you're implying that in this case you will still contribute to the oppression of another individual.
That's a good point actually. Ooh, actually I haven't got like a good response for that.
That was it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So are you considering maybe looking into our resources, maybe going vegan?
Yeah. I do eat as much what's it called? Vegetables, sorry, I forgot what it's called for a sec. I do eat as much as I can to obviously stay healthy, but I would definitely look into being vegan, sometime in the future. But at my age, I definitely feel like it'd be hard.
How old are you?
18.
Why would it be hard at 18?
Well, my view on it is definitely the protein and that stuff, because I do like going to the gym a lot.
So if you found out that you could get all your needed protein, would that be a more motivator to live vegan?
Yeah, I have seen all the tofu, and I love tofu, by the way, and soybean stuff. But this might sound ridiculous, but I've been eating meat since, I was a kid, and it's almost hard.
Most of us have. Most of us have. I'm pretty sure I was like 26 when I first came across some literature about animal rights. So it's not about how long you've been doing it. It's about realizing that you don't want to be a part of it anymore. And if you see it as an injustice, why would you continue to do an injustice, any longer? Why wouldn't you want to just stop altogether?
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like any other rights movement, right? Like you can't be half racist, or you can't be half sexist or half feminist, right? Like that doesn't work. You either are for someone's rights or you're, ambivalent to it or whatever. You don't have, I guess, a care for anyone's rights, which some people claim, but then when it comes to themselves, they still want their own autonomy respected.
I've got some questions. This is not only for me, but for everyone else in the live. Do you have any tips on how to transition into veganism?
Yeah, I would take a screenshot of our resources right here. Vegan Easy is probably the easiest one because they have a dietitian that makes meal plans for you, and they make a little community that you can be with other people that are learning about how to fit veganism into their life. So you can talk about, your obstacles and what's, becoming hard. Someone can usually help you because they've gone through something similar and they've figured out how to get around it. If you don't want to join a group though, because I personally have issues joining groups, but it's really nice to have that access there because it's free and it's not intrusive. They just send you email about the meal plans that you can have, and it's based off of your preferences and your budgets. But above that is nutritionfacts.org, and you can find their videos on YouTube. You can just look up nutritionfacts.org or just Nutrition Facts. It'll pop up. It's a green N, but they have what's called the Vegan Daily Dozen. You can also just Google Vegan Daily Dozen, and it just is an easy checklist on how to get everything you need on a whole food plant-based diet. But it's really simple. It's not based off any like brand name products. It's off of whole foods, wherever you want to source them. And then above that, I would definitely watch Dominion, because if you don't have the motivation, it's just a diet. Most people don't even consider the other parts of their lifestyle. But if you watch Dominion, you realize, I don't want to demand animal exploitation in any aspect of my life, because there's just no right way to do the wrong thing in any of these fields, like food, clothing, entertainment. There's just no way to enslave someone fairly.
And animal testing, yeah.
Yeah. So I would just take a screenshot of those, and then I usually say start from the top and work your way down.
Yeah. Before I go, I've got one last question. What's your view on pescatarians?
Well, we know that fish are sentient. They have nociception, which means they can suffer, and they avoid They change their behaviors when they are experiencing pain. So if they don't want to experience it and we don't need to use them, there's just no point.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm gonna go now. It's incredible.
Can I ask you one last question?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so last question. How many more animals do you want exploited for you? Is it more than 0?
Pardon, I didn't catch that.
How many more animals do you want exploited for you? Put in that position for you? Is it more than 0?
It's probably
because they're only there based off your demand.
Well, it's not like I want to kill them, but it's just my family.
Well, that's what I'm asking is how many do you want exploited for you?
That question kind of
Well, it's because it's your honest principles, right? I can hear it that you want to say 0, right? You don't want to exploit animals for you. It would be ideal, correct me if I'm wrong, it would be ideal if we could get everything that you get right now, but without using the animals, right? That would be ideal.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So all I'm trying to say is you can do that. We have everything to replace whatever you're doing right now with plant-based alternatives. You just have to look for them. You have to be motivated to not want to use animals anymore, and you'll see them. I didn't realize how many vegan products were around me until I was actually looking for them. So just remember that you be honest with yourself. How many more do you want exploited? And, act in accordance with your own principles.
Yeah, okay, knowing that you're
great.
18, you probably still live at home, and your mother probably still cooks for you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go on about. My family does buy a lot of meat.
Maybe you could sit down with them and have them watch Dominion with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
that
see,
sounds good.
because a lot of people don't see what happens in standard factory farming. And it's the United States, it's Australia, and it's Europe.
Also, at the very least, if they're not interested in making a change themselves, you can appeal to the finances too, because if they buy you plant-based food, it's ultimately going to cost them less.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good point.
It's 13 to 25% cheaper to do.
Yeah. I'm curious. Do you guys eat the vegan meats?
Sometimes.
Mine at home, and it's extremely inexpensive for me to do on my own, but that's by no means an obligation. Those are if you want to do them or not,
Well,
then more
a good burger or tacos or something like that, or pizza. They're all vegan.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hop off now. It's 5 a.m. for me. I'm in Australia, so I gotta go. All right.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, Kane. I appreciate it. OD, did you want to say something? I saw you on mute, and I was hoping you could get it in there.
I was just gonna say that I do eat like the Beyond Burgers and the like the vegan chicken nugget type stuff, just because my partner and the kiddo like that stuff. But if it was just me, I'd just be eating beans every day because that's what I like.
Yeah, I relate with that too. We usually only get like those fancy things when we have people over and we want to like impress them or something, or if we want to like treat ourselves. It's not something we do all the time. But even if you did, it's not a big deal. Like, it's not a requirement to be vegan, basically, is the point. So you can thrive without using them. All right, Jamie, I appreciate your patience. Let's see if it was worth it.
Good evening, guys.
Hi, you're very echoey.
Oh, wait, I turned 18. I'm 18. I turned 18 this year in June.
Jamie, it's really hard to hear you.
Is it now better?
Yeah, there's like a big echo. Like, is there any way you can maybe get closer to your microphone?
Now better? I don't know.
That's better.
Much better. Awesome. All right, so why aren't you vegan?
It will surprise you. I'm vegan already, and I just wanted to come up to thank you for your outreach. So I do activism too, just in real life, and I know. So I started activism on TikTok, and it was so it's so nice to see that it continues. So that you get people vegan over TikTok. I get vegan over TikTok too, and it's so nice. And I just want to thank you. So how much effort we put in this to turn the people's lives, and it's just really mean a lot for me, because it's really nice to see that the veganism and activism has come around the world. So I'm from Germany, and I know vegans from France, I don't know, from Luxembourg, from Spain. So it's so nice how the veganism is spreading all over the world. Yeah, it was lying in my heart, and I just wanted to share with you.
Appreciate that. Yeah. It's good to meet vegans out in the wild, and I'm glad that you're doing activism. We need every vegan to be active in any way that they can. So I appreciate you taking action. That's amazing. Yeah. What made you go vegan? I'll ask you a few questions and then we'll move on, because I just want to, we're trying to look for opposition, but what made you go vegan?
So like a TikToker, a vegan TikToker, so as you.
Nice.
I just scrolled over my For You page, and I was punished in this live stream, and I was vegetarian before. And while I get outreached, I'm eating I don't know the English word, so a yogurt. So do you know? I'm so sorry, my English.
Yeah, I understand you. Yeah, yogurt.
Yeah. As mother milk, and as soon as I understand that this is not good, I put this yogurt to the side and said, no, I don't want to continue to eat this. I will respect animals from now on. And yeah, so at the first week, I don't know if you know the organization AV. So at my first weekend where I was vegan, I'm so sorry, my English is so horrible.
Oh, no, you're fine. You don't need to apologize. You're doing great.
I got to the AV activism, and from then on, I don't know. So I'm vegan like since 7 months, and I do it.
Yeah.
6, 7. Oh my god. Since 7 months, and it really fills my heart to share my passion with the people. So to show them that animals are not some products, they're feeling individuals, and they also want to live like you. And yeah, that really means a lot to me.
What does veganism mean in general to you? Do you understand like what the definition is? It sounds like you do.
So to block the exploitation. So I know it in German. I try to make it in English. So to block the exploitation of animals and feeding individuals as good as it possible. So like, don't to see animals as a product. So to see them as I always want to say human being. What the fuck?
Well, as a sentient being, right? As a subject, they're not a thing. They're all right. Well, that's fantastic, Jamie. I'm gonna try. See, can I follow you? I can. Okay, good. I just gave you a follow back.
Nice.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming up. I think we're gonna move on, but that's a beautiful. That's always what I want to hear is like that people hear what happens to the animals and they're like, you know what, I can make this change, and they do so. They act on that. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate you taking action. That's the next biggest thing. A lot of vegans are afraid to do that, but as long as you know, like what you know, that animals care about what happens to them, you can speak up for them.
Yeah.
So I
Can
appreciate
say
you.
one last thing to the people
Please.
who are already vegan but don't do activism.
Yeah.
So don't think that you as one person will not change anything. You see it in the live stream, you see it on the street, you see it on the internet, you see it around the world, that so many people turn more vegan, and it's all because of the activism. So you will make a change. So go on the street, turn the live stream on, and prove people wrong that animals are products. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Jamie. Thank you so much for coming up.
I just wanted to say I have known a lot of great vegan Germans. Like I've known like pretty much every German I've met has been vegan. Like everyone I've met in person. I used to meet a lot on couch surfing. They used to stay at my house. So very cool.
Yeah. So can I ask you what time is it in your country?
It is 10:04 a.m. and I'm on the Pacific Northwest.
Oh,
yeah.
It's in Germany. It's 7 p.m.
It's 12:04 p.m. in Chicago.
Okay, I don't want to disturb you anymore. So have a nice rest outreach and do the people vegan. Join the people.
That's right. Hell yes. Hell yes. Appreciate you, Jamie.
Appreciate
All right.
you.
Well, thank you. All right. You have a good day.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get some ops up here, guys. Oh my gosh, guys. Yeah, W in the chat. That is amazing. I love hearing about vegans that are getting active. So yeah, please go follow them. I just gave them a follow. I definitely want to see your lives because I want to see you in action. I love seeing more and more vegans getting active. All right. I guess we'll just go from the top. I don't know.
It doesn't list them in order, so like on Google.
Like, why does it do that? Why does it change the order that they're in?
I don't know. TikTok's always kind of fucky.
It's so weird.
My profile picture on my TikTok still says Eric Anderson.
Oh God, you still say Ozell on mine.
It's driving
me
nuts, but it's all
I
good.
bet. If you want, you can jump down and I'll bring you back up. That's okay too.
It's all good.
Okay. All right, Luke, are you over 18?
I'm on 24, yes.
Right on. Okay. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I enjoy eating meat. I just want to know why vegans seem to force their opinions on other people.
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean force?
Like, this whole life is as if you're trying to force other people to be vegan.
Wait.
So is
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're gonna ask the same thing.
Can I ask you a question, Luke? Serious question. Like, what forced you to not just scroll past the live? Like, what force specifically caused that to happen? Caused you to enter the live and press the request button?
Well, I did that because I want to know why you're trying to...
Wait, so you forced yourself onto a live discussion to tell us that, or to ask us why we forced you to come and engage?
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, That always cracks me up when they say forced. I'm like, how am I forcing anybody? There's no one strapped to this chair that I'm shoving broccoli down. Like,
Yeah, I mean, there is no force involved. Do they not know what the word force means?
The divine intervention. My thumb just would not stop from clicking, like to enter and then going to the request. Wait. Have you guys seen that movie Idle Hands? You might enjoy that, VSL. I think you would really enjoy it. It's got that theme. So, like, it's got Devon Sawa in it. Like, he was the main character, like in his like I think early adulthood as a stoner, and was just like totally like it was awesome. You should check it out. Idle Hands. You're on mute, by the way.
yeah, I just realized as I said, yep, I'm like, oh, I'm muted. Hold on. I have it in my pocket, so it took me a second. But yeah, I'll check that out. I thought I was going to say something and I totally blanked. Oh yeah, we were just talking about that vegan though, so. Oh, I selected somebody.
I never understand the forcing the ideals thing. Like, it just.
Oh yeah, forcing, that's what it was we were talking about. Yeah, I don't understand that either. I have a bunch of AI art on that. People being strapped down and fed broccoli or tofu. Hey,
good morning.
is it, I can't see your whole name. Can you tell me is it Mango? I see Mango Ah.
You can just call me Akuma.
Akuma?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, and you're over 18?
Yes, July 26, 2007.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan?
Well, for one, the meat tastes great, and I was born to like meat. That's
Do
it.
you understand? Do you know what veganism means?
Yes, you want to eat vegetables, pretty much.
It's actually
anyone, and there's more to it. You want to like stop animal oppression or whatever you said.
Yeah, so I'm principally against the exploitation of others. I think that humans should live without exploiting sentient beings. Because I'm a sentient being and I don't want to be exploited. Does that make sense?
I understand that.
All right. Does that align with your own principles?
Yeah.
All right. So what's stopping you from leaving this conversation more in alignment with your own principles and living vegan?
Animals aren't human. They don't have the rights as us. Like us.
Okay.
My English is bad.
You're fine. Do you understand that animals are sentient? Or I don't know if you know what maybe sentience really means?
Sentience means like they can feel things like emotion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So you agree that they are sentient, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, so if they can feel emotions and they care about what happens to them, what then morally justifies enslaving them when we wouldn't tolerate that treatment?
Well, humans were meant to rule over animals. If animals were meant to rule over us, we would be the ones in the slaughterhouses.
So if someone is able to enslave you, you think they should?
It's a might makes right type of person.
Well, can I just ask, like, specifically, Akuna, what do you mean by meant? Like, we were meant to.
Well, humans were meant to rule over animals. That's what I mean.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand what you're trying to claim. I'm trying to understand what that claim even means.
It means exactly what it sounds like.
No, so now, like, this is called begging the question. It's circular reasoning, right? So what I'm asking you is so what I'm asking you is to describe what you meant by that specific phrase, we were meant to rule over these other beings. Like, what does that mean? Like, we were meant to do that. And by saying, well, we were meant to do that, it doesn't answer the question. So I want to understand if you even coherently understand what you're trying to say here.
All right. So you're asking me what I meant. Asking me what I meant by that.
Yep.
Like your reference.
Yeah. So like you're saying we were meant to rule over these animals or meant to do something to these animals. What does that actually mean?
God made us into want to. Not want to. God made us rule over animals. We don't. You guys apparently we don't have to because you guys are all vegan. But it's our choice to. We can rule over
Okay.
them.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. So God gave you authority. So that's what you mean. God gave you authority. And according to God, you have authority, meaning that God created them to be ruled over by us. All right. So let me ask you really quick. I'm assuming you're ascribing your this to like the Bible, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So if we like refer to like different passages of the Bible, like Leviticus 25:44, which explicitly God gives instructions to Israelites on how to own slaves and like that they can acquire them from surrounding nations and own them forever and pass them down to their children. Does that mean non-Israelites were also meant to be slaves?
Wait, run that back, please. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Leviticus 25:44. I can pull up the complete passage. I was just giving.
Oh no. Just repeat what you said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Leviticus 25:44 is essentially God giving instructions for Israelites on how to keep slaves, specifically non-Israelites, because he forbid Israelites for owning other Israelites outside of indentured servitude, which was only a set time. But for non-Israelites, God commanded that it is okay for them to take slaves from nations around them, or even like within their own nations that were not Israelites, and keep them forever and pass them down to their children as slaves. So does this imply that non-Israelites were meant to be slaves?
To be honest, that's what God said to do.
Are you a non-Israelite?
No. Yeah.
So what you're implying is that you were meant to be a slave as well. You're meant to be ruled over by Israelites.
When we say you can be like basically the slave forever. Yeah.
Yeah, so you accept that you were meant to be a slave to other Israelites, right? It's okay if you say that sounds outrageous and you reject that. Like I would not like.
I would like fight for that or something.
Okay, perfect. So all I'm trying to imply here, I don't care what law, what God or what religion you ascribe to. But if you reject some of the teachings, what that does is it puts the others into scrutiny too. So when you say that God meant, or that you were created and you were meant to rule over these others, you're not willing to like, or maybe you are, and hopefully this conversation does change that for you. You haven't given it a second thought and you're like, well, they're meant for me to do this, therefore it's okay for me to do this. And I just provided a different scenario where you're like, well, wait, hold on. It's similar, but I would reject that. Why wouldn't you consider rejecting this one as well?
Because animals are not humans. Animals are.
And you're a non-Israelite. And you're a non-Israelite.
You're an animal.
Wait, what did you say? She said what?
Humans are animals. That was the point she was making. But to Ozel's point, right, you may be human, but you're not an Israelite. So because you're not part of that group, it doesn't matter what you want. You are lesser than them, and according to them. Therefore, they have the right to do what they want to you.
Well, even in the New Testament, like they explicitly say, like, you know, live by the laws of the Old Testament. So
what we're trying to say is, even though it may say something in your text that animals are lower than you or something, that you have dominion over them or something, we're saying that just because you have the ability and someone gave you permission, that doesn't mean you have to do it. That means that you can take a moment and ask, why am I doing this? Is it necessary? Right? And we're saying, well, do you think that we should consider someone's ability to suffer?
Animals are not a someone. They're
Do you think? If you don't want to have a conversation anymore, we can end it here.
Can you describe to me really quick what a someone is?
Someone is a human. You wouldn't say a dog.
So what does it entail to be? What does it entail to be a human then?
You have a brain. You have like bodily functions of a human.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by human in this kind, like of a human. What does that mean? Because like our bodily functions are that of other great apes, right?
Yeah.
So are we calling other great apes humans?
No, because they're not human.
Okay, and great apes' bodily functions are those of other mammals. So would we call all mammals humans?
No.
So then what specifically do you mean by human then? Like the bodily functions you just said are that of other great apes, and you said yeah, and then I said, well, would that make them humans? You said no. So I don't even know that you understand what you mean by we are human and they are not. So can you maybe try to elaborate what you mean, like what separates us?
Okay. So we're strong. So we're not stronger. We're smarter than them. We can communicate. We can speak different languages. All that stuff.
Okay, I got you. So are you implying that other animals cannot communicate, or they just cannot communicate with us?
They cannot communicate. They cannot communicate with us. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So is communication or a lack of communication a sufficient enough condition to oppress someone?
Repeat that, please.
Is a lack of communication ability a sufficient condition to oppress someone?
It's a lack of no.
Well, then why are you even using that as a reason to like differentiate between us and others? Like, because that's what the implication. So they cannot communicate with us, but they can communicate, right? So just because somebody can't communicate with you effectively, essentially what that implies is that like they are somehow different enough for you to like oppress them. And I think you would reject that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then why would you use that? Like, can you give me another? Like, hey, VSL, if you want me to stop, like, at any time, just let me know. Okay?
It's not you. I just don't think he's taking it seriously is all. Keeps munching on his cereal or something.
So I'm eating because I'm hungry. You think I'm not taking it serious?
I mean, yeah, we're having a conversation. It's rude for you to eat while we're talking.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to ask you then, like, what specifically about a human like gives humans consideration to not be oppressed, but not human animals, since biologically we're like extremely similar to like every other mammal aside from like our opposable thumbs and our level of sapience. And our vision might be different, but like those aren't sufficient conditions. So can you give me a sufficient condition?
Yeah, no. All I can really say we were meant to rule over them. We were meant to rule over Earth.
Yeah, okay. I understand you believe that, but you also don't actually believe that that's a sufficient enough condition, because I demonstrated another situation or another scenario in the same book that gives us dominion over animals, that gives a certain group of people dominion over all other people. You reject one and not the other. And that is an inconsistency, right? So why would you accept one, and how could you logically reject the other if that is where you are deriving your oughts and ought nots from?
Why would I what?
Why would you reject one and not the other? How could you? If you actually hold true to your faith, you're actually being blasphemous by doing that, saying, I reject that one, but I am okay with this one, right? That's blasphemous. You either have to reject it if that's where you're deriving your morals from and you believe in God and you follow God's laws, right? You understand that, right? By not doing so, you're not doing that. You're inconsistently applying it, and that's actually blasphemous towards your religion.
Okay. Are you talking about what you said about the Israelites?
Dude, have you been here this whole time? Have you been listening? We've been seriously going over all this for you.
I'm asking a question. Can you just answer it, please?
What else would I be referring to?
Okay, so
hold on, let me break this down for you really quickly, all right? So in one instance, God grants one group of individuals dominion over another. In another instance, God grants one group of individuals dominion over another. You're saying that you reject one, but not the other.
Yes.
That's inconsistent. There's no reason for you to say, well, that's wrong, but this is okay. There's no reason for you to do that. You could say, well, you know what? Even though it says this, I don't have to do this.
Saying living vegan is more in alignment with your own religion, what it preaches. Compassion, right? Peace, nonviolence. So you're causing violence when it's unnecessary. That's his point. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You're not going against, you're not for your Bible. You're actually going against your Bible.
I actually want to challenge the original statement there.
You're really quiet.
Sorry.
That's fine. There we go.
Hold on. Okay. I want to challenge that original comment there that the Bible, says that you have the right to dominate and oppress animals. Because there is the phrase dominion. There is later it says stewardship, and the word that was used and translated to mean dominion does not mean the same thing that we mean when we say dominion today as the freedom or right to oppress others. In fact, it traditionally, at the time that it was translated to English, it traditionally meant that you were responsible for taking care of the others around you. If you think about the way that royals in England think about the property that that they're in charge of, they don't think that
you're lagging.
OD, we're losing you. We're losing you.
Area, Odie?
Or not.
Oh, we still can't hear you. To OD's point, if he comes back, he's just saying, though, that the words, there's actually a documentary on this called Christspiracy, and they go over the life of Jesus, but they also go over other religions, and they talk about that word dominion specifically. They look at the original sea scrolls, and to Odie's point, they were saying stewardship, meaning to care for, not to necessarily use. But that aside, I think we're gonna move on because we've you've been up here quite a while. If you could do one thing for me, are you deeply religious?
Deeply religious, yes.
Okay, so if you are, would you be willing to go watch that documentary I just brought up, Christspiracy? It's not. It's not a debunking film. It's just looking at the original sea scrolls and the words that we often ascribe to doing what we want to animals, and they're looking at what those words actually mean. And it was really eye-opening. That documentary was amazing. So regardless of how you feel right now, you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it really steel man's Christianity and compassion in that. Like, it doesn't like dog on it by any means. One of the producers is actually a like devout Christian. I don't remember which denomination.
All right. Thank you for having me up.
Would you be willing to watch Christspiracy?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it right after.
Hell yeah! Just look it up on Google. I think they have it on their own webpage, but it should be free to watch.
The website is not on YouTube.
No, they tried to put it on YouTube. YouTube didn't like probably the sacrifice scenes. There's scenes that they show other countries where they do sacrifices of animals. So those scenes maybe are too graphic or something. I know they tried to get it on YouTube, but I don't think it's on there yet. So if you just Google Christspiracy, you'll find the documentary. It's really good.
All right. Thank you again for having me up. Have a good day.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming up. All right. Appreciate you guys. We tackled that from all sides. All right.
Hey, if Marco is in the queue, maybe pull Marco up.
Who?
Or Marcio. Is that what it is?
Flapping his gums in the comments. Marcio Silva.
Oh. They aren't.
Big Nick's in the house.
They've been talking a lot for a lot of shit for a while now.
There we go. Okay. I sent Marcio Sylvia a request to come up here.
Because they're physically mute.
Oh.
So.
Oh, okay. What have they been saying?
Oh, a lot of things. A lot of stuff about vegans being hypocrites because we have cell phones. And also,
who cares?
The plant stuff.
Oh,
yeah. Stuff.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they got rid of payphones. So what do you expect us to do? And they got rid of house phones. So come on.
Oh wait, like with that, like the burden of proof would be on them to demonstrate that like the products that we use were exploitive, because it's not like definite that like all these products were made from exploitation. So like they're arguing certainty versus possibility. Like we know 100% unequivocally if we consume animals, it is because of exploitation, like from like via purchases and stuff like that. But when it comes to like even like the probability of something, even though it might be lower or higher, it's not certainty, and it's systemic and unavoidable, like for most people. So there's also the desire versus necessity aspect there.
I would also just push like the necessity of having a cell phone is there. My partner went 2 years without a cell phone, and it was okay because he was at least at a computer, so you could contact him in some way. But if he hadn't been on the computer, there'd be no way to get a hold of him. And in fact,
I was trying to remember who I heard that from. I was like, somebody was just talking about this. So yeah.
Yeah, he went 2 years without a phone, and then he was coming to pick me up because we only had the one car, and Seattle is huge. And so I ended up eventually after this using public transit, but he was on his way to come pick me up, and he got T-boned. And he couldn't call me. He couldn't even call a tow truck. The other person had to call the tow truck, and he had to use their phone, and he had to try to remember my phone number to call me. And which he finally did, and I had to like go running through the streets trying to find him, and we had to sit there all night because again I had a phone, but the tow trucks did not come. We ended up having to drive that car all the way home. That's regardless. Now I'm kind of getting off a tangent, but the point is he had a phone, or he didn't have a phone. There was a situation, an emergency, and he couldn't contact me. And like if I had an emergency, I wouldn't have been able to contact him. Like anyway, yeah, there's a necessity to have a phone. But like you said, it's the burden of proof's on them to prove that our phones are actually made with exploitation, because we do know that there's an issue in the system, but you don't need slavery to make a phone, right? You can build machinery without exploiting someone. That is possible. It's not inherent. Animal ag, it's inherent to enslave and exploit someone, because you have to destroy them to take their muscle off of them. You have to separate their family so that you get more of the product off of them, right? You have to violate their autonomy to make more of them. So it's inherent in animal ag to oppress and exploit. Sorry, I was out. I didn't know if you wanted to add.
I don't have anything to say. I was just going to
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. The lithium thing. Again, it's not inherent, right? We're not demanding exploitation. We're demanding electronics, a battery or a phone. We're not demanding someone be exploited. Okay.
Even with lithium, even though, like, yeah, sure, we can agree that, like, the majority of lithium might be like produced under exploitive conditions. It's not certain that all is, right? Like, it's not like unequivocally the case that all lithium production is exploitive. So again, like, given the constraints of our system and the systemic exploitation and like these individuals even doing it because they need jobs out of themselves, even though there might be coercion in that, which again, in every specific instance, it would have to be proven to be the case. Like, it's different than unequivocally going to paying for somebody to use their body for their parts, right?
It's the difference between taking your car, running people down, versus you're in your car and someone happens to walk in front of you. Because, incidental harm does happen. Intentional harm is different. I'm not demanding someone's exploitation. I'm demanding a product. And if I have options, right, if I have options between these products that I need, that one was made with slavery and one isn't, then yes, I have the moral obligation to choose the one that didn't use slavery. But I don't have those options in front of me right now. It's all hidden from us, in fact. We don't even know. We just have these articles that come out and say there's some of this happening, we can't even really track it because it's not being, it's dark, right? It's under the wire, so there's no real way to account for it yet. We're trying though.
Well, yeah, and that's the point. Like, even if you do like the due diligence and like you do like all of the research you do determines that something wasn't exploitive, it still very could have been. It's just like there's deceptive information being put out about it as well. So it's like there's no way for anybody to be completely certain that a lot of their products were or were not exploitive, that aren't directly contributing to the exploitation of another being. So essentially, it's just largely a false equivalence.
Yeah.
Like if I knew one brand, like this brand is unequivocally exploitive, the products that they use in their phones are exploitive, the labor, it has been demonstrated that it is always exploitive, then I wouldn't buy from that brand by any means.
Actually do practice this in other aspects of my life. I don't buy personally. This isn't veganism. This is me personally. I don't purchase from Amazon and I don't purchase from Walmart because I know that they exploit their workers. It's inevitable. But again, that's not veganism. That's because some people, that is still a necessity. I feel like that they need something delivered. And sadly, that company does provide a service that isn't adequately matched against. It's just that they do it through exploitative means. But because I have the ability to not use them out of principle, I don't. So I try to practice these principles in every aspect of my life that I can. And I encourage other people to do that. All right, guys, enough monologuing. Let's get some a-holes up here. I say that playfully. I shouldn't say it like that. Yeah, let's get some people up here. You're all people. We all, we're the same. I shouldn't be mean. I genuinely do want to talk to somebody.
Let's get some animal holes up there.
Yeah, animal holes.
Voice, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, OD, you're so quiet. Hey, One Love,
Yeah,
Two
I'm
Homes.
doing work stuff,
Hey.
so.
Gotcha, OD. We may just ask you to speak up sometimes. So One Love, Two Homes. Is that right? Hold on. I just closed it.
Yeah.
One Love, Two Homes. Okay.
One love's enough.
Okay. Are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 40.
Okay, right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I haven't broached this topic since like vegan games was popular, like I think like 2011. So that's one reason. Convenience was the last reason that I wasn't. I recognize the morality of it in the sentient being, right? And it was coming down to convenience. Since then, there has been a lot of scientific, advancements in the field to substitute meat, correct? And I was a bodybuilder at one point.
So you know that you can get everything you need on a vegan diet?
I do, but I do live overseas. It's a bit more difficult. So access is a bit harder.
What access?
To the proteins, all of them needed.
You can eat a whole food plant-based diet. You don't have to get like the brand name things. Tofu, tempeh, beans, rice, plants, like vegetables, fruits, frozen fruits and vegetables, canned fruits and vegetables. Those are like the cheapest things in the store.
It's not about price, it's about availability, living in a third world
protein.
country.
You can still get all the protein you need though.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to look into that.
Okay. Well, I would take a screenshot, look at the vegan Daily Dozen, because it's just an easy checklist to make sure you get everything you need in a day.
What is that? The Vegan Daily Dozen?
So nutritionfacts.org is an organization that is trying to do like a public service of pulling out studies, breaking them down, like telling the methodologies and their conclusions from that. And then they've come to a conclusion after looking at all these studies of a way to eat that seems to be the healthiest and leads to longer life and higher quality of life. And it tends to be a plant-based diet. So this is just a checklist of your proteins, your fruits and vegetables, which also have proteins in them. Also your vitamins, right? It accounts for all of those things. So it just puts them into little categories. Like you got your fruit, you got your dark leafy greens, you got your other vegetables, you got your protein, which is usually a bean or legume, or, could be like a wheat, a seitan, or a grain. So you have a lot of options.
Yeah, that's good. That is definitely something that, I'd have to reapproach. I'm glad you did put that up there for me.
So knowing that you can get everything, including your protein, on a plant-based diet, do you think that you'll go vegan or you'll live vegan from now on?
It's hard to get off of really. I do enjoy meat, and obviously I think there's a lot of vegans also that enjoy meat, right? It's a morality choice, correct?
Okay. So who deserves that muscle more? You for taste pleasure or the animal using it to move around? Who deserves that muscle more?
Good question. When you disassociate and objectify something, right? I'm going to go with me, right? But if I got to know that,
you should more think about it instead of as the oppressor. What if you were the victim? So someone bigger and stronger comes along, decides that you're tasty, right? Who deserves that muscle? You or your oppressor?
Well, I'm going to fight for it, but yeah, me.
Yeah, you, because you're in that body. You're born. This is your body. You're still existing in here, right? No one has the right to invade your autonomy without your consent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's all we're saying is that animals care what happens to them, and just because you have the ability and convenience doesn't mean that you should. You should be using it. You have also the ability to change your habits. You just move your hand in the store. It sounds like you already know, where to go. So why is it you think that it's okay and acceptable to demand, to continue to demand someone's exploitation? And I'm not judging you for your past. I'm more talking about future actions.
Yeah, no, and that's why that's why I'm here actually. You know, because otherwise I wouldn't be interested. It's the fact that the broach the topic again after just not really, not carelessly thinking about it. It's just going about life and not thinking about veganism anymore. And actually, one of my friends owned one of the largest pig farmeries in the area I live in, and seeing those things, it does cross my mind. You know, the sentient life that the pig has, especially the intelligence. Whether they're intelligent or not, I suppose, shouldn't be a debate, but this is sentient life itself, right?
Yeah. The intelligence doesn't matter because when we look at humans, right, we don't care how intelligent we are, or they are. We just care that there's someone in there.
Right. It does act an additive for me, though. To be honest, just to be frank, it does add something. Like for it to know its demise, makes it more sad for me. But going back to it, why not pick the Beyond Meat versus the actual bacon
or the beans?
Right?
Why not pick plants instead? You don't have to buy the Beyond Meat or the. I just don't want you to get focused on those. You don't have to eat those.
Sure. Well, because I say the Beyond Meat because I do enjoy meat. It is a tough commitment to do it. You know, you can't say that. You can't just play it off like it's really easy just to go vegan.
It wasn't hard for me. It really was easy. No, it wasn't hard because I had a motivation. Because, I saw what was happening to the animals and I didn't want to support that. OD, did you want to add something? I'm sorry.
On a first-hand basis?
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that for me, what it was, one thing I want to say was for me, what it was correcting my behavior, changing my habits. Because like when I first went vegetarian before I went vegan, like I was 17 years old, I basically just ate bean and cheese burritos like every day for every meal, just like all the time, because I was a teenager. I had to grow up and as I did, I learned, different things I could eat, etc. And also there's something about you that is telling me that you are someone who could possibly enjoy a hobby, such as like making something, I'm
actually a chef.
Okay, well, seitan is a centuries old meat substitute. It literally translates to protein or best protein. And it is basically vital wheat gluten from bread.
I'm vaguely familiar with it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you can either buy vital wheat gluten from the store, or you can wash out flour so that all that's left is the gluten, which is a complex protein that is created in the process of kneading the bread. So you can then take that and you can shape it into different kinds of meats. It's another term that's used for it is, wheat meat or wheat meat, because because it has a texture that a lot of people find similar to meat. I'd say it's like better for like a slice of it is better for like a substitute for like bologna texture wise, rather than like a substitute for like a pot roast, because the texture tends to be a little bit more like that. But, the more you play with it, the more you can change it and change the flavor. I make a tofurkey, one, that my partner's family really likes. And, there's like a couple vegetarians over there, but there aren't any, vegans currently in her family. I'll
take it for a spin. I mean, I definitely have time to do that. It does sound interesting. Here, going back to the prompt too, and you guys are vegan, so you can tell me. Now, if I remember correctly, being a vegan, right, it means no animal products whatsoever. So we're taking butter out, correct? And creams, milks. I mean, cheese. All you said bean cheese burrito earlier.
So
right?
you're listing all the dairy. Do you know why vegans avoid dairy? Oh, I'm sorry, Lori. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying it, and eggs. Yeah, eggs.
Eggs too. Yeah, right.
Do you know why vegans avoid those products?
Well, yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, the manufacturing of it. I don't know if that's the right term.
I mean, in a sense, I guess that is what has happened. We've manufactured these animals, but the issue is that we're breeding individuals into existence just to be used. So we're breeding slaves, right, that can produce eggs, or we're breeding someone that if we SA them and we separate their baby from them, we can take their breast fluid. Right. So that's why vegans don't partake in dairy or eggs, because there's still direct exploitation. She has to be pregnant to have milk, to produce milk, or the chicken. She has to be bred to produce an egg a day, or, basically just lay an egg at least it for you, right? Not for them, not for their own benefit, but for your benefit. And that's not fair to demand someone exist just for you. Right? They should be, if they are born, they should be born free.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's so selfish of what I do, and I know that. Like I told you, I showed you. I tried to express some empathy for the whole situation, right? And like I said, I haven't broached the topic, and I've just been kind of like not completely blindly going around doing it, but it's been in the back of my head, and it's nice to come in here and because it's out in the here. There's no one to talk about this with me, and so it's nice to hear it.
Then in the egg industry too, just to let you know that if there's a male chick born, we unalive 60 billion a year of male chicks because they're considered a waste product. So they either suffocate them in bags or they put them down into a macerator, just like and they sit on a little thing that goes by, and they dump them into the macerator because they're considered a waste product. And that's a really sick thing to do. Along with the same in dairy, they take the babies away. If it's a male, it goes straight to veal, or they unalive it. And if it's a female, it goes into a huge acres of land that have nothing but dog glues out there, and they stick them in there until they're old enough to impregnate them and start the whole cycle again. And then after a couple of years, the mother is spent, not even her full term. They can live up to 25 to 30 years. I owned a bull, and we did not unalive him.
You owned what?
A bull.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, if I owned a cattle, my grandfather did, and he couldn't have the heart to put him down. But yeah, I was going to say.
None of the animals on my grandparents' farm were ever used in that way.
Right, just the beauty of them. I was asking something to the host, and it was, I said, did you have firsthand experience?
So I didn't.
Easy for you.
Yeah, so I didn't. What made me turn wasn't firsthand experience. What made me turn was seeing the documentaries. I saw Dominion, I saw Cowspiracy, I saw What the Health. I saw many more after that, but after about like 2 or 3 documentaries, I was coming to this conclusion that there just is no right way to do this. Every time I saw a humane farm, I still would not be willing to trade places with that animal, because ultimately they lose everything. Right? So regardless of the welfare, there's just no way to enslave someone morally. And there's a documentary called Cow. It's literally just called Cow. There's no talking in it. I don't even think they have music playing in it. It's just them following a cow on a dairy farm. And the farmers know they're there, so it's not even secret footage. So this cow is on the most humane farm. It still broke my heart what she has to go through. And that made me realize, animal ag it's akin to slavery. It's enslaving a sentient being when we don't need to.
Yeah, that is why, we use the word cattle to refer to bovine. Like, we've forgotten that the word for the animal is bovine. It's not cow, because cow is a female.
That's true.
It's not cattle, because cattle means property. Cattle means it's like chattel. It's like chattel slavery. It's cattle is it has the exact same word origin. It comes from a Latin word that means property or ownership.
Down payment for convenience.
Yeah. So we've really, de-animalized them. We've de-bovined them, But the other things I wanted to throw in here is it seems like there are two things. One, I feel like for you, like, I do prefer talking about, the situations that the animals are going through, et cetera, as a way of helping someone, find veganism. But for you, I feel like, you're having difficulty just making the transition, because of practicality, et cetera. So I feel like, it just needs to take practice, for you,
Here's a question based on that. What do you do? Because I was doing a great diet for a while, and it was just salads, just like loaded salads, like with all kinds of vegetables, right? And I had a killer ranch dressing, right? But that would be going against veganism, right? So what do you guys do in salad dressing department?
So I'm always a old school, balsamic vinaigrette kind of person,
right?
But Hidden Valley Ranch makes a vegan, plant-based version.
See, I gotta find a way to get my hands on that. If I get my hands on that could be like my first steps into this. Like,
if I may ask, where in the world you are?
Philippines.
Oh, okay, that might be a little bit harder.
It's hard, but it's doable. I can do these things. It's just it's challenging, but I can do them, right? And like, I kind of came in here because like
I'm not covering you. Oops, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think she was talking to somebody else and was just unmuted.
Yeah, my cat was jumping.
It's all good. It's all good.
Sorry, I'm gonna cough. Hang on.
Yeah,
okay. I was going to say, you can also just make your own ranch too. You can look up vegan ranch recipes, and it's really, really easy. Really easy, I promise.
Yeah, I've made mine for a long time before Hidden Valley Ranch came out with theirs.
What's the base to get the cream?
Mayo. Vegan mayo is what I would use, but there are other options.
There's vegan mayo, but there's also you can make nut-based ones. You can make different types of creams out of different plant stuff. Like coconut cream, for an example, or
the oil from the okay, I got you.
I mean, mayo is just it's just like oil that has some kind of a I can't think of the word for it right now, but something that makes water. Well, something that makes oil and water combined. The egg.
Oh, right. What's the word? I know what you mean. No, I know. Yeah.
I used to have to say the word over and over again. Emulsifier.
Emulsifier.
Yeah. I used to have to say it all the time because I used to work for the Just Mayo company. So I used to, and that's, so I had tons of mayo to play around with and make all sorts of things with. But also, you were talking about the different dairy products. There are vegan versions out there of pretty much all of those dairy products. Like my favorite in recent years is vegan whipping cream. I love it. I love it. I use it for everything.
Desserts?
I use it for desserts. I use it for vegan quiche, which I make tofu and I use the creamer, the whipping cream. I make a whipped cream out of it very easily. You can make your own butter with it because when you whip it, enough, it eventually gets the solids in there like butter. So it's cool stuff. There's a few different brands that make it now. But what I was going to suggest too towards, so for me, when I went vegetarian, I actually had just I gave up eating meat for Lent. And at the end of it, I tried to eat lamb. And when I ate that lamb, I felt absolutely terrible. I did not, because my body truly knew it wasn't a physical reaction. It was, it wasn't like my stomach, was having digestion issues or whatever. What it was like my body knew I don't need to eat animals anymore. And at the same time, I have become aware of the harm that my continuing to eat animals had done. So I do suggest just trying it for a little while and then, seeing how you feel, there is, to help people with that, there is Challenge 22.
Well, I mean, talking to you guys have sparked a little bit of flame in me. So I think, we can concede on that. And I think, see where I go. I followed this channel. I'll check back in a couple weeks, let you know how it goes.
Especially,
like I said,
go ahead.
check out Challenge 22 because it'll help you with the dietary questions that you had, as well as, you're doing it for 22 days and you feel yourself change.
Awesome. And then I would suggest just watch Dominion first. That would be the first move. Just watch Dominion and then just ask yourself if you want to continue supporting that, because it just shows you standard practice. So regardless of what you're going to do, you should know what it is you're demanding anyway. So it's just important to watch that.
When it comes to that, that morality part, I think a lot of people will justify anything that their own subjective desires want, and they'll play it on any card they can, whether that's religion or anything. Yeah. And I feel like you're getting a lot of opposition up here that does that. When at the end of the day, that we all know it's kind of wrong. The argument is very clear, right? And some people that are ignorant, where they don't know what it's like to be next to a scary person that could kill you within seconds. But that's what you guys are doing here. You're fighting the good fight, so keep it up. And thank you for your time, all you guys.
The one other thing I'd suggest is sit by yourself for a long time. Give yourself a chance where you can just sit and think about what you believe, what your values are, and where the inconsistencies are, and how you can smooth that out, and how you can live a life that coincides better with your values, because that's what builds the deep change inside of you is sitting with yourself.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you, One Love. Like I said, if you check out any of these and you do feel some difference, come talk to us if we're live.
I will. I'll come back. Cool. I followed you guys.
Truly do appreciate that. We look forward to hearing from you. So please do come back.
Take care.
Cool. Yeah. You have a great day.
Bye.
Thanks for coming up. Bye. That was great. I love that. I really do appreciate people looking at our resources and being open, like, oh yeah, this does align with my principles. Why am I not doing it? I do want to do a shout out. I didn't see it on YouTube. I had a super chat, I guess. So thank you to Savvy Coops for that. There are super chats now in YouTube. I enabled that. Don't feel pressured. Don't hurt yourself. I just had a lot of people ask me if I could turn those things on, so I did. But I don't necessarily want your funds. If anything, I want you to give money to sanctuaries, right, where they actually need money and they put it towards the individuals that we're defending. So I do appreciate gifts, though. Thank you, Savvy Coops. You're amazing. Thank you. Very sweet. And I appreciate the gifts here in TikTok. You guys are always thank you. One Love. Thank you. Very sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. He sent a galaxy. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, W's in the chat for One Love. Let's keep this motivation going. I like it. This is great, guys. Hopefully everyone's doing all right. Thank you, vegans in my chat, for keeping it safe and talking to people who have questions. Use your words.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
Hey. Yeah, no problem. Are you over 18?
Yeah, 32.
Right on. Perfect. So why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't ascribe the same moral value to animals that I do to human beings.
Okay.
But
Do you know what?
I actually see nothing wrong with eating them.
Do you know what veganism is?
I mean, I think I have like a vague understanding of it. I'm sure there's probably aspects of it I don't understand, but from my understanding,
Go ahead.
it's just,
Yeah.
yes, from my understanding, it's just not consuming animal products in some way. So, like even dairy would be something that vegans don't.
Yeah. So that is something that we do, but it's out of principle. So vegans have a principle to not use animals because they're sentient beings just like us. So because I'm sentient, I don't want to be enslaved. I'm not going to enslave other sentient beings. Does that make sense?
Why should sentience be the quality or the characteristic that you ascribe moral value to?
I would argue it's the only thing that anybody truly cares about. So, for example, if you had a human standing in front of you, would you only respect them if they were intelligent? Or does that not matter?
No,
so if they're a dumb human, they can't do math.
Mm-hmm.
Can you disrespect them? Is that moral?
No.
Right. So what if, they have the cognition of a cow? They're still human, but they have the cognition of a cow. Mm-hmm. Can I exploit them now?
No, they're human.
Okay, so what if they, actually I don't know where I'm going with that. Basically, I just wanted to stick with the cognition, but so you say human. What is it about humans that you respect so much?
Well, we have metaphysical experiences.
What does that mean?
It means we have experiences that don't just confine to what we call the physical, right? Meaning like...
What?
Yeah. So, for example, logic, right? We human beings can exercise logic. We can tap into what.
So that's intelligence.
No, it's not intelligence. So intelligence would be.
Some humans can't do that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that all humans can do that, right?
I know. So I'm pointing at these edge cases where these humans don't have the same cognition as you and me. We still respect them.
Yeah,
Why?
Do you understand that you would be at the mercy of your own argument here? So when you say, for example, that sentience is the threshold breaker, we can agree that there are human beings that are no longer sentient or were never sentient.
No. You don't know what sentience means then. Sentience means the ability to have feelings,
Mm-hmm.
to have a subjective experience. So I'm talking about humans that are sentient, but not sapient. Right? Sapient thinking about thoughts, more complex thinking. That's more like intelligence.
I know. I'm talking about sentience.
Hold on. I want you to understand this. Sentience is binary. You either are or are not able to experience life. There's no degree. If you're sentient, it's about richness, intelligence, right? Capacities. The only thing that we're talking about, though, for sentience is the fact that you care what happens to you. And I argue that's the only thing that matters. And I point to our edge cases with humans because these humans that I'm pointing out don't have this cognition to reflect morality or to think about logic, but we still respect them because they're sentient, meaning they care about what happens to themselves. Does that make sense?
So then maybe, can you give me an opportunity to steel man your position so I know I'm not misunderstanding it? You're telling me sentience, right, is the ability to have experience, right? You're saying that if an individual, or not just individual people, but like animals in this case, if they are able to have sentience, they're sentient, they have experiences, then therefore we should attribute some sort of moral value to them, right? And that there's
minimum, not exploit them. At minimum, just not exploit them. Just leave them alone. That's all I'm arguing for.
And then just so that I get this right, it's sentience itself is what matters. You're saying it's the only thing that matters. If you are sentient, then you do have these rights, or we shouldn't exploit these rights. Okay, so I do understand this. Great. Then I just need to know, we can agree that there are things that are not sentient that you would still ascribe some sort of moral value to. Right?
Okay, if you're going to go to plants, I definitely hold animals over plants because plants don't. Okay, I don't know where you're going then.
Well, there's many things that you could go to. For example, there's been children that were born in a comatose state, right? There's dead bodies, right? There's dead bodies. You wouldn't say that it's okay to eat a dead body, would you?
So I would say that it's not immoral to eat a dead human body. It's weird. Why is it immoral?
So you see nothing wrong with that?
Use your words. Can you explain to us what sentience means, or what you believe sentience to be?
Well, I just steel manned it for her. She agreed with it.
I missed it. I apologize. It was a capacity for subjective phenomenal experience, right? Okay, yeah, sorry, I had to step outside. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page. So I just want to, like, a couple of things here. Just because somebody is in a comatose state does not mean that they are not sentient. Just means that they currently aren't experiencing anything from a conscious perspective. They are still sentient. One that is not sentient would be essentially an object or something or being dead, right? Like the capacity wouldn't be there. So like we can grant, like, sure, these situations that you're describing might have ethical implications in other domains, such as consuming a body outside of exploitive practices. There can be many arguments made according to that. But when it comes to the discussion of veganism, and what we're trying to address right now is the direct exploitation of sentient beings. So even if we did concede that those certain conditions might not qualify as exploitation if the being or thing is not sentient and it wasn't taken from them by exploitive practices, that doesn't automatically follow that there might not be ethical implications otherwise. Do you understand the difference?
Yeah. And just so I get this right, I don't misunderstand you. You guys aren't saying that it's immoral to eat animals, right?
So the very concept of consumption itself, we're not attacking the ethics of that. It's the action and intention behind that consumption, right? So like if you want to go munch on roadkill, by all means, go munch on roadkill. According to veganism, it would be like inconsistent for me to say that there were ethical implications if that roadkill wasn't roadkill like from exploitive conditions, right? Again, there could be other ethical implications that could be ascribed in another domain, like that can be an easy meal for wildlife that you would be depriving that wildlife of. But when it comes strictly to vegan ethics, no, that would be an ethically neutral.
Okay, so it's just so I get this right. You're just saying it's immoral only when there's exploitation involved.
Yeah, so it's the ethical implications of unnecessary exploitation, right?
Okay, but don't you guys think that morality is subjective?
Okay, so like, yeah, we can discuss meta-ethics in a different conversation, but meta-ethics has nothing to do how we practically ascribe like normative evaluations or live like practically, right? So
well, I just mean that if it is the case that you do believe morality is subjective, then who gives a shit? Like,
so I can reject like all ordinary moral claims and still act according to like what's logically justifiable and coherent, right? But it's irrelevant. That's the point I'm trying to make. And if you ascribe to if you ascribe to morals are subjective, I'm going to ask you within your own framework, do you believe that to your own framework that unnecessary oppression and exploitation is an ethically permissible practice according to you and your own morals?
I'm sorry, could you ask that again?
Yeah, do you believe that unnecessary oppression and exploitation is morally permissible?
Yeah, in some cases.
Can you describe, like, in what case unnecessarily oppressing another individual would be ethically permissible?
So, like, when we say oppression, you're just saying, in my mind, but one thing that comes to mind is like factory farming,
prolonged cruel treatment. It's prolonged cruel treatment.
Yeah. So prolonged.
Well, it's not even prolonged cruel treatment. It's just the fact of like oppressing somebody or exploiting somebody. It doesn't matter the level of harm.
I want to get your question right. You're not asking me about people specifically. You're asking me in general, right?
In general, right?
Okay,
Do you believe?
I don't see anything wrong with like oppressing animals and eating them.
Okay, so can you agree that humans are biologically animals, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so when you say that it is okay to oppress animals, you're implying it is okay to also oppress people unnecessarily.
Well, we're not only animals, right?
Okay, so do you mind addressing the special pleading then?
I just did. I gave you the fact that we have metaphysical experiences.
We have what?
We have metaphysical experiences.
This is where we were before.
Okay, why don't you explain to me what a metaphysical experience is?
Yeah, so the laws of logic are not tangible. Can we agree on that?
No, why don't you like explain to me what a metaphysical experience is?
An experience with something that is objectively true yet non-physical.
What does that even mean in this context?
I'm giving you a perfect example. The laws
You're
of
not
logic.
giving me a perfect example. I'm trying to understand what you mean specifically about a metaphysical experience. Are you talking about the awareness? Like, are you talking about the awareness of like using logic and reasoning?
Yeah, but you keep cutting me off for some reason, so I'm trying to explain it to you.
No, I'm not cutting you off. You're just not like giving me a good description. If you're talking about sapience, you could just say our ability to reason and understand that you would classify as a metaphysical condition. So I'll grant that. Let me ask you then, how is that a sufficient condition to determine whether oppression is acceptable or not?
Well, let's just say that it's based on preference. Why would yours be any different when it comes to sentience?
So I'm asking you, how is that a sufficient condition?
I just told you, preference.
Preference. So what you're implying, it is okay to oppress others based off of preference.
I said it's okay to oppress animals, right? Non-humans, right? Based off of preference, yes.
Okay, so what is the morally relevant trait difference that is sufficient, right? That can be unequivocally demonstrated amongst humans, but not non-human animals.
I just told you our ability to use logic.
Okay, can babies use logic?
You literally just keep saying intelligence, intelligence, intelligence over and over and over. I'm so sick of it, dude. It doesn't matter how intelligent someone is. It's about if they care what happens to them. So we've been getting at this whole time. Intelligence doesn't matter. Intelligence doesn't matter. What did I just say? What did I just say? I want to make sure you heard me. What did I say?
I you correctly already. So
what did I say?
You said intelligence doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is if they care what happens to them. So that's what you said. So
thank you.
Now that you know
Appreciate
now that you know I understand it, right? I just asked you a question. If you're telling me that the only thing that matters is if they care what happens to them, right? If a human being doesn't care about what happens to them, is it okay to eat them?
With their consent.
Just so I get this right. A person comes up to you saying, hey, I want you to eat me. You're fully okay to eat me. You're saying there's nothing wrong with
if somebody, I don't understand how this is hard for you to understand. If somebody is within their right, like their agency, they are making rational decisions and they are saying, yes, I want this to happen. Like, to me, that would be no different than somebody who is terminally ill and says, please end my life right now because I do not want to be here anymore. Right. I don't like, so you're
so just like it is right.
No, hold on. This is hilarious.
Use your words.
You're trying to,
let's be mature. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say, this is hilarious to me. No, stop.
You're sitting here giggling
because you're trying to you're trying to
find
use
something funny.
No, hold on, stop. You're trying to use these big concepts and big terms and like the sophistry, but then you're laughing because we're using funny. Consistency and it's hard for you to understand. Do you think that that's any less ridiculous than preference, or any more ridiculous than preference as an excuse to justify somebody? For fuck's sake, babies aren't rational, and according to your own metric, it would be totally permissible to exploit babies.
No, because that's against my preference.
Your preference was
Do you mind? Can I ask? Use your words. Can I ask you a couple questions? Because I'm a bit confused on everything.
Are you going to let me answer them, or are you just going to cut me off the same way they did?
I will let you answer them, but if you start hedging, then yes, I will cut you off.
What's your question?
Okay, so my question is, do you have a dog or a cat, or have you ever had a dog or a cat in your life?
No.
No. Have you ever been around a dog or a cat?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, in distance, to see people walking their dog and shit like that.
But you've never met a dog personally in your life? How old are you?
I mean, maybe for a couple minutes or something like that. Nothing Yeah.
How old are you again?
32.
32, and you've never actually been around, you've never had a friend who has had a dog?
But I've never been like to their house and like been around their dog.
Okay, and same with a cat? You've never been around a cat before?
Nope.
You're 32 and you're honestly saying that you have never been around a dog or a cat in your life.
That's not what I said.
Okay, what did you say? What did you say?
I said I've been around dogs, like in terms of like watching people walk their dog, or been around, maybe I'm at a friend's house and seen them for like 2 minutes, right? But not like, if you mean like, have I built a relationship with an animal at some point? No.
Okay, so what friend of yours has a dog?
My friend Michael.
Michael. And what's their dog's name?
Rufus.
Rufus.
After the naked mole rat from Kim Possible.
Okay, so Rufus, would you say that, what was your friend's name? Max?
Michael.
Michael, okay. Would you say that Michael would be upset if something happened to Rufus?
Of course, that's his property.
That's his property.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be because Michael has a relationship with Rufus and that Rufus matters to them. It's simply just this living being is property, and therefore that's the only reason why Michael would be upset if anything happened to Rufus.
Yeah, so he would be upset because of the fact that he has a relationship and it is his property, right? That's why he would be upset, because his property, who he has a relationship with, is being harmed. Meaning he wouldn't be upset if some random dog in Afghanistan halfway across the world would be harmed, right? He wouldn't give a fuck. That's not his property.
Quite frankly, I don't think you're being honest at all. So you're saying that Michael, if he saw a random dog on the street being kicked or hurt or anything like that, that Michael would just be, whatever, they're no one's property, it doesn't matter.
I mean, we ate burgers when I went over to his house. I don't think he gives a fuck about the cow, no.
I'm talking about a dog.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, what would be the distinction there from your worldview?
I'm trying to get you to understand that animals have subjective experiences that they care about just as much as you do. But you're deciding to put them as property. No. Hold on. You're saying that they are property, and that's the only reason why they matter is because they're property. Do you not see how unacceptable that is?
That's your argument? It's unacceptable?
That what you're saying is unacceptable.
And that's your argument to what I'm saying, is that it's unacceptable?
Let's just wrap this up really quick, right? So use your words. I think that's your name. I'm just going to ask, you think preference is a legitimate sound justification to oppress others?
To oppress animals, yeah, to cows and pigs.
No, well, I mean, but that's the thing. Like there are others, right? But I'm saying you think that preference is a legitimate enough. How about this? You think a preference is a legitimate justification to act according to, like, somebody can just do it on their own whim, right?
Yeah, but you do too.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah, we both do. Yeah.
You don't know what I do. You don't know me. You don't know what I do. So I'm asking you. I just want to understand this. You're saying that preference is a valid justification to oppress another.
Yeah, I'm saying that both of our worldviews. Okay, guys, so
there's no point in continuing this conversation.
I'm using your worldview.
No, you don't know my worldview. That's the thing. I never gave you my worldview.
He definitely wasn't here in good faith.
No, that's why I wanted to make that clear.
Yeah, no, he was, I mean, that was just ridiculous. Like, take it to absurdity. Like, what, really?
Yeah.
I mean,
animals are property.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they're property. There was one time when humans were also considered property, and that didn't change the morality of their enslavement. So, yeah, he didn't want to listen. He kept going back to sapience, and he could not get off of that. He was like, we have this metaphysical experience.
Well, even sapience is gradient. So if you say sapience, you need to really be able to define where that starts and where that ends. And it definitely doesn't start within young children. Like babies. They're not babies, have no level of what would be described as sapience. And it's like, oh, well, preference. I prefer not to do that. It's like, well, okay. And that's why I wanted to wrap it up, because if he says that he believes that preference is a logical reason to oppress others, then there's no point in continuing the conversation.
I mean, he then has to respect other people's preferences. like
Well,
your
that's the
preference to
point.
eat human babies, right? And I doubt he would respect that.
Well, he doesn't need to respect the preference, like that specific preference. He just needs to respect the fact that these others are acting out of their preference, and that like judging them would kind of.
Yeah, if someone wanted to oppress him out of preference, that's moral in his paradigm. Because they can. Like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. He also just kept focusing on human supremacy. And, it's like, yes, we are humans and we have different capabilities. But just because we have this power or this ability over someone, that doesn't mean that we should dominate or use them. We should recognize that they are their own individuals. They care what happens to them. They have their own, purpose. Why was human slavery wrong? Because that was a sentient being who had their own purpose, regardless of their intelligence. We could make the argument that we're just going to enslave humans that have the lowest end of sapience or no sapience at all. We're just going to farm those humans. It's still immoral. They still care what happens to them. That's what I was trying to pound in his head. But he just kept going back to these metaphysical differences and that humans are not animals. It's like humans are animals. There's no morally relevant difference between us. You keep referring to intelligence, this metaphysical experience that humans apparently have, but not all humans have that, which is why we kept pointing to those edge cases, right? Just because a human doesn't have the ability to be sapient, that doesn't mean that they are now subject to being exploited. Like, that's moral. That's why we try to pull out these hypotheticals, trying to say, are you being consistent? Oh, OD, I'm sorry. 2, 3. Oh, I see. We have 4 people now. Okay. OD, are you okay if I knock you back down? I just want to keep only 3 vegans up here. I'm sorry. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and who knows what's going on, why I keep getting kicked back off of this. Something's wrong with my connection,
Oh,
I
something.
guess.
Oh, okay. I haven't been kicking you off.
No, I assume it's my connection that keeps getting me kicked off.
It does say you have low
because
connection.
I'm
okay.
I don't know where I'm at. I guess I'm in Wheeling. I'm off near an airport somewhere.
Okay.
So,
Dang.
I'm off in the sticks a little bit. I'm pretty far from Chicago right now.
Darn. Okay. Well, I'm gonna put you back in the chat. Is that okay?
Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay. All right, OD. Thank you. Okay. There we go. Appreciate you, OD.
If there are any of other vegans that are wanting to come up, I don't mind giving up my spot too. I've been up for a while.
If you and OD want to talk about that, I don't care who's up here. I like having you guys up here. I just, I don't want to intimidate people by having too many vegans is all. As I said many times, you guys know. So, let's see. We have 1 request. Come on, guys, like, share. If you like what's going on in here, let's get some more ops. I'm going to be up for another 40 minutes. Oh, okay. I guess that person was an old request. Anybody who's not vegan want to come up? Come up with a good reason? Someone we haven't spoken to?
Dude, preference-based ethics are such ass.
I mean, what I've usually said to people that say it's a preference, I always ask them about the preference about their own autonomy. And do they want to have this deep conversation with other people about your preference? Or should we just all respect each other's autonomy?
Yeah.
Most people don't want to talk to each person and be like, hey, these are my principles. Don't touch my body. That's one of them.
Yeah, that's why it's really gross when people try to bring up meta ethics to justify their normative or practical ethics, because they're not acting according to their preference day to day. They're acting within some sort of constraint. These people are, well, that's my preference, and you wouldn't accept that from somebody else.
No, exactly. I don't care what your preference is. Your rights end where mine begin, right? You don't have rights over this. That's why I always like to refer to myself. I am a sentient being. I don't want to be enslaved. I can see in other humans that are sentient, they also don't want to be enslaved. Learning that animals are sentient, I mean, you already have this intuition that they are, but when we get confirmation that they're sentient, it's oh, yeah, they definitely care about what happens to them. It doesn't matter if they know anything beyond that. If they care what happens to them and want to avoid harm, that's enough to respect. I don't need to use someone. I can find another way. That's how I would feel if I was the victim. I would want my oppressor to find some other way. But if you're in my chat, either TikTok or YouTube, put a 1 in the chat if you're a vegan. And if you're not a vegan, put a 2 in the chat. Let's see what kind of ratio we got going on in here. Okay, got a lot of vegans. That's good to see. Hey guys, all right. Vorpus. Bamboozled. I see you. Level 5. Okay. So non-vegans, is there anything that you want to ask? What is it for you that's holding you back? It's okay to put it in the chat if you don't want to come up. It'd be easier if you came up. We'd prefer to talk to you voice to voice. Yeah, 2s, come on up here. Oh, YouTube. You know what? I didn't, let's see if I can do it on this phone. I have my old phone here, but it's hooked up to the internet. Oh, I don't have that on there. Let me think for a second. YouTube, I don't have the link for you to join. Bamboozled. Is eating already past animals okay? Morally speaking, it's fine. Like if you saw roadkill, as we said earlier, there's nothing immoral about you consuming them. But as Ozell said, there are other ethical things that come into play. Like, are you robbing a meal then from someone who is surviving out in the forest? You know? Also, there's something to be said that you're still viewing animals as a resource, because if you saw an unalived human on the side of the road, I doubt your intuition would be the same, that, oh, I'm going to eat that body. So, because, you knew that person was sentient, and that usually sets with people. You want to respect
I
their
really
body.
don't know anybody that's ever just said, hey, I'm going to go scavenge roadkill today when I don't have to.
Ugh, I've seen videos of people doing it, but it's like, okay, for one, like you said, you could be taking the meal from someone who is actually trying to survive the harsh environment of whatever environment that is. But 2, hella not safe for you. Like, who knows what diseases are in there? And when you come across this body, what infections possibly, or, what's already beyond expiration, it's so impractical, but, you do what you want to do to yourself, I guess. But the arguments that I would say, it's not totally immoral. It's just that there's these other implications that come into play. So, yeah.
That is unfortunately one of the results of valuing logical consistency.
Yeah. There's other effects going on. You got to look at the whole picture here. Oh, I didn't see if there were 2s in my YouTube. I saw a bunch of 1s for a while, and then my chat kept, there are a couple 2s. Okay, 2s. Oh, yeah. Van Vlog, Relly, my Eric, Rock, Tech Triani, Super Janister. There's quite a few of you guys. I wanted to put the link in YouTube, but I don't have a way to do that, right? Actually, I wonder if I can do it from here. Let's see. Can I even share in here? Okay.
What's up, Billy Bob?
Yeah, come on up, Billy Bob.
Have a conversation.
YouTube, I put the link and I pinned it in the chat. So if you want to request up, the link is in the chat. It's hard to do that on my cellular. Sorry, Ozell, go ahead.
As I say, Billy don't want any of this rhetorical smoke.
Yeah, some people can't handle the truth. It's easier to hide in the comments, which I get. I'm not the type of person that typically likes to get up on a panel and talk about controversial things. And I mean, we'll promise to be nice to you. I truly, honestly get upset when people start to amp up the energy. I usually start to meet them at their energy, which isn't helpful. It just escalates the friction. But we can keep it cool. Someone can come up. We'll be nice to you.
It also escalates the views, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when it gets a little feisty, it does bring in more attention, sadly.
We could totally do good cop, bad cop. I'm down.
That's fine, too. I mean, I do feel like sometimes people do need a little more of a assertive, direct response, and then other times they need to have that patience and care. So it's definitely a balance, and it's nice to have multiple vegans that can help meet those needs. Billy Bob, why don't you come up? Did anybody try to invite him? Oh, hold on a second. What'd you say, Lori?
Keep asking him to request up, but
me. I can't even send him a thing.
Yeah, it's weird. I can't either.
I bet you he's on the desktop then.
Oh, maybe.
Because the desktop, you can't go up on people's panels. You said no one has to request up, no? What do you mean?
Nick.
Hello.
Hi. How's it going?
Just hanging out, making vegan food, watching you guys, listen to people.
What do you
People.
What do you mean by vegan food?
It's made out of real vegans.
There you go.
She's hungry, and I do most of the cooking. So I got some sweet potato croutons, and I got some.
Can't we just call vegan food just food, and then call animal food carcass, or
It was funny because I told my friend I had some scramble dust, and he was like, "Oh, so you throw it on the ground and it makes a cloud, and you scramble away." And I was like, no, bro. I use it to make vegan scramble with tofu, but I really like where your mind went there. I mean, I might be able to use it for that. It's pretty dusty. Anyway, I'm watching the chat down here, and it's funny. Billy Bob sucks. Those guys they're all just bad faith, here to decenter the animals. We had a couple of nice folks, but they still go off on weird tangents, or they drop off.
But I
after
go
you
off
start,
on weird tangents, though.
you do. I don't like the philosophy bros a lot because they'll be like, "Oh, morality is subjective," and it's like, okay,
Dude, you're killing me right now.
Yeah, well, we live in modern day and age, and we don't just pluck our morals out of thin air. They're informed by logic and reason, and we don't just make them up as we go along. There are many, many morals that people agree with on in society, and right now the subject is harming animals unnecessarily. It's the worst cop-out that I hear, like that one, morality is subjective, and then there's another one that gets me, oh yeah, no ethical consumption, and it makes me want to slap the taste out of their mouth. And I'm like, okay, would you say that all consumption is equally unethical, or where is your stand? Where do you stop? I need a cell phone. I live in the woods like Ozil. I have satellite with him, but I need a phone for work. My wife's work gave her a phone. She has to have a phone. He's like, well, it's not necessary. And it's like, well, I need to have a job. And if I don't have a job, it's going to make survival just a little bit fucking harder. Have you been outside?
Yeah, subjectivism and relativism are the most weakly justified positions anybody can take. It's just so gross.
Is this?
Scaredy
I was gonna say. Is this the Billy Bob that's usually on YouTube? There's a Billy Bob on there that like goes on to the Crucible and does debates. Is it the same guy? I don't know if you guys know or not.
No, I think this is just some dude who frequents Universe's lives.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't think I'm not sure if he's ever been up on the panel or not. I've seen him like talking in the comments saying that giving the same straw man arguments and like all that stuff. So
what are his common straw man arguments? Just like plant sentience
vegans cause harm too. Like vegans are disregarding the harm that they're causing. Like veganism isn't inherently an anti-harm or anti-suffering or anti-death movement. It's against directly oppressing others, right? Unnecessarily, right? So even if there was oppression in the circumstance of like crop farming, eating is necessary. So the harm that's happening is a survival necessity, right? It is justified. Whereas me going out and deciding to just slit the throat of an animal because I'm going to cut off their body parts when I don't have to, that's not survival necessity right there.
Exactly.
Yeah, Billy Bob, I just think you choose not to listen to what I just said. Like, I legitimately just broke it down. But if you want, I could get into the biophysics of it so you understand a little bit better. If you don't understand how thermodynamics and the concept of entropy works, when we consume plants, only 10% of that energy goes to our muscle tissue. So if we were to consume animals instead of the plants directly, it's going to require a significantly amount more plants and animals to be harmed to get the same calories. So no matter how you look at it, less animals are harmed from plant-based diets.
If I turned fully vegan, would eating dried crickets be a bad thing to do? I don't know actually the sentience of crickets. I'm pretty sure they are considered sentient, but I don't know for sure on that one. I err on the side of caution that if they are, then yeah, definitely I won't use them. But I don't use them because I don't need to. We have all the alternatives necessary, and they have signs that seem like they're, to me, sentient. Like I said, I just haven't looked into it. I appreciate you, Lori, confirming though.
Right. I'm not, I wouldn't consider it vegan. I'd probably consider it gross. I mean, if I found you eating dried crickets, I'd be like, gross. And I saw the documentaries of the dudes that make the gnat burgers in Africa. And I'm like, now those guys are in a survival situation. It's like the only food they got for miles. Like, what am I going to say about that? But like, my guy, like you're going down to the store. You're like walking by the grocery store that's at your access into a novelty store and then buying like dried up crickets and being like, delicious. Those fucking vegans got them owned.
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't just eat plants. I mean, it's way less gross. But again, I also do consider the cricket, right? I am considering that they might be sentient, so I don't want to invade their life unless I absolutely need to. So, never step on a bug again. Stop being obtuse. Yeah, exactly.
Keith with the solid logic. I will watch where I step today.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be very careful about wherever you put your feet. Take out practicality. It doesn't matter about that. You got to go to the extremes to basically no longer being maybe even alive. I don't know. Like, we're talking about what's practicable and possible for you to do, right? Like, someone who was against human slavery still had, sadly, things that were probably demanding exploitation indirectly, but they still had this principle that they weren't going to demand human slavery, and they did everything they could to avoid demanding human slavery, right? Because they felt that was morally ethical or the moral thing to do at that time, because if they were the enslaved one, that's what they would want their oppressor to do. And we're just doing the same thing for the animals. We're saying sentient beings who care about, what happens to them deserve to not be exploited by humans. So it's really no different. Billy Bob. So if you eat on survival calories, awesome. But by your definition, eat more than survival. Oh, so he's going off of like that bodybuilders, like vegan bodybuilders then are not following this ethic because they're consuming out of, like, it's not necessity, anymore. Is that what he's trying to say?
No, he's equivocating exploitation with like harm that happens in agriculture.
Yeah, exactly. He's saying that people who overeat calories are increasing crop deaths.
Yeah, and he's equivocating crop deaths with direct exploitation. And I keep asking, like, what animals are we actually exploiting? So I'm trying to understand. Billy Bob, name one animal in the comment, and then explain what we are using that animal for, please.
If you just come up, it would be much easier to talk to you than to type.
I mean, you can make the same argument for going to drive, right? You're going to accidentally hit someone possibly there, but it's not inherent. Go ahead, Ozell, sorry.
Oh, no, it's like, but that's the thing though, like, all harm is not not all harm is exploitation, right? Like that's the point here. Like, just the fact that somebody is being harmed doesn't mean that they are being exploited, right? Like, you go for a walk, right? You're not using the bugs for anything that you accidentally step on being unaware of that. We're not using these animals, and it is not our intention to use these animals. And it's not even our intention necessarily to harm these animals if we can avoid it via the consumption. So that's not exploitation, right? Like it's unfortunate because life is harmful, right? Oh man,
improve. I was going to say, we can improve those systems. You can't take away the exploitation from animal ag. Anyway.
Yeah, Billy, I'm not sure what's like so amusing. Is it like that I'm like actually like breaking down what concepts actually are, or that you've failed to even list a single animal and how they are being exploited?
He listed a rabbit.
Oh, I missed that. A rabbit. How's that rabbit being exploited, Billy?
Just for the YouTube audience, we're talking to someone in the TikTok chat. I just realized you guys can't read it because I'm on my phone today, so all you see is me. But Billy Bob says, y'all are so funny, man. Never fail to amuse me. So we're just waiting for his response on that. And then Bamboozled. Corn is quite nice as well. The brand. Just waiting for your response, Billy. Oh, there you are. Non-vegans can't exploit animals, but we can.
Billy, how are we exploiting the rabbit you mentioned?
What is he talking about? I'm making vegan bacon right now, just so everybody knows. It's fucking fire. Vegan bacon, though.
Yum.
It's not poor plants, it's the poor sentient beings. Plants are not sentient.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy, if you can't answer how that rabbit you're talking about is specifically being exploited when we're referring to like harvesting plants, I'm just going to be under the assumption that you're incapable of reaching the level of reasoning to have such a critical discussion, and it would be unethical for me to continue talking to you.
Exploitation, in case you need to know, means to use someone unfairly for your benefit. So when you're protecting your crops, it's not exploitation. It's, if anything, self-defense.
So there's that article there. You go on and you Google anesthetics in plants, no pain, no brain, therefore no consciousness. It's really, scientists have been looking at plants and they test like anesthetics and stuff on plants before they'll test them on humans, which I think is great. That's way better than testing on animals. And, but really the conclusion at the bottom is what they've come to is that like, just because there's like some like reaction there, there's still no like consciousness. You're not like reducing consciousness or stopping any like pain. You're just kind of stopping whatever electrical signals there, and there's still been no like consciousness. There's a couple articles about the non-conscious. One of them is just a bunch of mad biologists talking shits about guys like this, saying you guys need to knock it off with the plant consciousness bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw his last statement.
I did. He said displacing the animals' homes to benefit.
Crop
deaths? And then that's not exploitation. We're not going out there. We're not like, hey, I'm displacing you, rabbit. I'm going out there to displace you to benefit me. That's not even exploitation by any means. So you're gonna have to try again. What are we actually using that rabbit for, please? And
Hippie Geezer, thank you for the £2. I really do appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much for that. You guys are sweet. Thank you. Yeah, please answer Ozel's question, Billy Bob.
Well, I also think it's extremely like I don't know why you would assume that like these farmers like are not trying to predict the amount of animals. Like, do you think like getting like animal guts all over crops is good for business in the first place?
Yeah.
Like these farmers, like I've talked to many like non-vegan farmers who do like row farming, and they're actively trying to avoid these deaths themselves. Like not for ethical reasons. Some of them, sure, but like the majority, it's because it's not good for like yields and it's not good for harvest. It's like it's like a safety hazard, you know.
Well, this is like the same
It's
thing.
also a cost. Sorry,
this dude, this dude the other day was bringing up like deer overpopulation, and like you live in the woods, Oz, and I live over here in the woods, and we have deer here, and there's a reason. There's a reason why the deer are overpopulating, and I have to start asking them like, but why are the deer overpopulating? And they can't answer the question because the question is that the ranchers are shooting the predators because the predators go after their cattle and shit too. So then they reduce the amount of predators that springs up the amount of deer. So the deer overpopulate. Right now we've had like a bit of a hiatus on hunting some of these big animals here in California. So like the deer population's actually gone down a little bit. It's a little scary living in the woods right now, but there's a family like 4 lions up the street, and there's a bear that comes through and like breaks down like Sean's trash can every now and again. But you know what? This is their woods, and I just try to stay in the house anyway. So yeah, it's like I like to ask him a lot of questions. I think when I first started, I watched a lot of Ed over there on YouTube, and I really like his approach of just like, and also like in my work, I do like investigation. So I'm used to asking people questions and conversations and asking them like exactly what they mean by what they say. Like, can you define that? Can you tell me what you mean by that? Oh, like I'm going to need you to explain that. Can you tell me when that first, things like that. So.
Well, even the thing with like hunting, like to defend crops, like that's not even a common practice for like human grade crops. Like it's significantly frowned upon because of the reasons I had just mentioned, right? So generally those practices are like more acceptable. And even in the case for like animal feed, it's still like people try to avoid that. So like it's just like that whole argument is.
And I saw your comment that, I'm just bringing up one of your comments to Billy Bob, which was that you farm, right? You're a vegan. You're living your principles in what you do. And if we had more vegan farmers, they may consider the animals before they actually, do what they're going to do to protect their crops. They might do more preventative, right? Or not preventative, deterrent stuff, or trap crops, or, putting up better walls, or, having mixed vegetation so, things aren't as exposed or whatever. I don't know all the techniques, Ozel. You're definitely more of an expert in this field. But my point is, if someone was vegan, they would live those principles in their work too, right? So.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think
the real big point, and I'm sorry, Oz, that I like to point out here is that these issues that they bring up.
Hold on one second. Lori, we can't hear you. Were you saying something? Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. We got it. Okay. Go ahead, Big Nick. Sorry.
These issues that they bring up with the way that they treat wild animals and stuff, the way the farmers treat wild animals, the way that workers are treated to get whatever vegetable everybody eats, not just these are like issues with capitalism. It's like capitalism issues. These aren't issues with like veganism. We're just here in society trying to do the best that we can with what we have at our access. Like I buy a lot of vegetables and different things local. There's a lot of local food and farms where I live. Not everybody has that. But that's great. But I still I got to save money. Sometimes my avocados come from Mexico, but the avocados are for everybody. They're not just for me. And these are issues with capitalism that they try to associate with veganism.
Yeah. Hey, you're a fool.
Hi there.
Are you over 18?
I am, yeah.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Why? Okay. Because it's hypocritical. And I just wanted to say, rest in peace to all of the animals harmed in the testing of the makeup on your face. And
I'm not wearing makeup.
Hold on, you're a fool. Let's stop for a second.
Yeah,
What
mute
do you
this
think veganism
guy.
is?
What a sexist opening.
Yeah.
What do you think veganism is?
You know how many? You know how
No,
many bacteria?
stop. What do you think veganism is?
What do I think veganism is?
Yeah.
It's the belief that you think you're better than everybody else because you're hypocrites.
Oh, so you actually don't know what you're talking about. Wow, that's just like you are a fool. Wow, your username sums you up pretty well.
I am
Good job.
not.
Oh, you definitely are. So
You are a hypocrite.
can you explain to me what veganism is before you even like attempt to call me a hypocrite?
Veganism is absolute and eternal.
So I'm going to give you a chance
Hypocrisy
again.
and arrogance.
Can you explain to me? So yeah, I understand what you believe. Like, I might be, but what is veganism itself actually? Can you like try again?
All right. This is my last attempt.
Okay. So no, how about this? I'll help you out. I'll help you out since like I don't think you really even understand what you came up here to discuss. So veganism is a principled stance against the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings. If you say that you are not vegan, you are affirming the proposition that unnecessarily oppressing others is an acceptable or permissible practice. Do you understand?
Well, what if it's necessary?
Do you understand it? It was a yes or no question.
Yes, I do, but I'm asking you.
Okay,
like, what if
cool.
it's necessary?
So what's your contention with veganism? I specifically
Because it's hypocritical.
I just explained what veganism was. And when you ask what about if it's
Yeah,
necessary,
so let me
then we're not
respond.
talking about veganism. So I'm going to ask you, like, what
Hush,
contention
hush,
do you have
hush.
against? No, I'm going to finish. So I'm going to ask you, what
you're
is your
gonna finish, of
contention?
course.
Yeah, what is your contention with being against the unnecessary oppression and exploitation of other sentient beings?
Well, because I know that it is it's a necessity to maintain our quality of life. Do you
So I don't think
disagree?
you're really tracking. I'm going to try this again, right? Veganism opposes the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings, right? So
It's
can you tell me?
necessary.
No. I'm not talking
Necessary.
about. No.
You track that.
So you're saying unnecessarily oppressing others is necessary?
It's
Is that what
necessary.
you're?
Yes.
So can you explain
You
to me
think
how?
you
No,
exist without
stop.
the
Can you
oppression of
explain to
another
me?
being?
No. I'm trying to keep this efficient. So I just require simple answers, and I will give you a chance to talk after I ask this question. Can you explain to me how unnecessarily exploiting another is necessary?
Okay. You begin by assuming that it's unnecessary. I'm telling you, your quality of life necessitates the system you live in.
Okay, so you
necessitates
just don't understand
Oh my
like how to
God.
have
You
like
said
no,
you'd
you
let
just
me
don't
finish.
understand how to have a
You
conversation.
said you'd let me
Yeah, but
finish.
you're not answering my question.
If
You
you let me
made the claim.
finish,
No,
I would.
no, because you're not answering my question. You're answering a
You
different
just want to
question.
hear
No,
what you want to
no, you're
hear.
answering a question I did not ask you. So I'm going to ask you the question again, and I'm going to continue
Okay,
to do
you're a
that
hypocrite,
and
and I'm trying to
interrupt you
show
until you
you how
answer. So
you're
I'm
a
going to
hypocrite.
ask you, right? You said that unnecessary exploitation is necessary. Can you explain that?
I'm saying it's necessary to maintain the quality of life of
So
which
you're
you
saying
benefit.
unnecessary exploitation is necessary to maintain the quality of life?
My quality
In
of
which
life goes down when I
you
eat meat.
benefit. It's interesting. It's interesting how you cut off
No,
the
you
last three
understand,
words
like you're
that
presenting a
reveal
P
the
and not P.
hypocrisy.
You're presenting a P and not P and saying that that is somehow logical.
That's not what I'm doing. You just want to hear
Is
what you want to
it
hear.
is it
And that's
necessary
why
that
you
we
keep
use
cutting me
animals?
off. Yes, it is.
Prove it.
Yeah, what's your justification for that?
You think the modern world wasn't built?
Yeah, so we don't require a question.
Okay.
We require empirical data, please.
Okay, you can't get to where you are now without the oppression of animals.
Okay, that's another
Or
claim. Can you provide some empirical evidence, please?
the events and the clothes that
Yeah,
you're
so
wearing.
can
the
you
makeup.
you keep providing claims. We want some empirical evidence, please.
You want me to quantify it? What type
I
of
want you to
evidence?
present data that demonstrates that consuming animals is necessary.
Why do you think these things? What led you to think the way you do about this topic?
Because there are times when people had to eat meat to survive. Do you disagree?
Okay, but do you understand? Yes, I understand there was a necessity at one point. Do you understand that today we don't have that same necessity? We're doing it for taste pleasure.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. Do you think you'd get to where you are today without those people having eaten it?
How is that relevant?
Hold on. Would we get to America without... Hush! Dude, honey, please. I'm trying to talk to you. Do you think that we would have the America that we have today if we didn't have human slavery? Does that mean that human slavery is now morally justified?
No, it doesn't morally justify modern slavery.
Even though that's how we got here today, doesn't change the morality of slavery.
Today, yeah. I mean, sure, if you want to make a moral assessment of today, then sure, I agree with you.
Yeah.
However,
okay, that's all we're talking about is today.
So can I ask you respectfully,
I'll ask you a question. Can I ask a question? Can I speak?
Yeah, in good faith, you can ask me a question.
For 10 fucking
okay,
seconds?
no, fuck you, dude.
Well, fuck
you don't need to.
Hypocritical.
Wow,
bipolar loser.
Stop.
Yeah, you still haven't demonstrated
Stop.
the hypocrisy.
Yeah, it's not necessary to start calling names. We're just trying to find where we have common ground. Okay, if we both agree. Go ahead. Sorry, Ozell.
There was not going to be any with that dude.
Boys will be
That dude was
boys.
just an insufferable sophist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to talk to somebody when they got a chip on the shoulder and they come in hot and sexist and rude. And then everything they're trying to say isn't even an answer. They're trying to monologue every single fucking answer.
Yes. Yeah. And that is, honestly, I do the same thing of cutting people off if they start monologuing and they're not answering my question. I'm like, no, you're wasting my time. I take my time back.
Yes, I'm not trying to be rude. I just didn't ask that question, and you're trying to move, do a burden shift, and I'm not going to accept that.
Right. It's like, answer my question, and then we'll move on to your question. But
instead, they open up with like the first sentence of the first paragraph of their new book. It's like, calm down, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think we got somewhere at first when I was talking about slavery. It seemed like he agreed. Yes, we got to where we are today on the backs of enslaved humans, but that doesn't morally justify that. And I think he kind of understood that a little bit, but he definitely dug his heels back in and was like, nope, I want my taste pleasure and change is scary. So just kind of crashed out at the end. It's too bad. Even if you crashed out, even if you felt really emotionally upset today from this live, please take a screenshot of our resources. Go check them out. Go see what these crazy vegans are talking about. Maybe there's something behind what we're saying, right?
Let me know if you need any cooking tips, people.
Hell yeah. Yeah, actually, that's always a great resource is, to see great recipes and shit. Like, honestly, that is one of the fastest growing spaces in vegan life is watching other vegans cook their food for some reason. It's very popular, so.
Can I invite my TikTok mutual friend, Acid Mike, up? Mike, do you want to come up and discuss with us?
Here, let me pop off. I'm cooking anyway. It was nice being up. You get Acid Mike up here. We'll check it out.
Well, yeah, he's not. I'm not sure if he's a vegan or not. Like we frequent other lives together, so I was just kind of curious if you wanted
I'll
to come
stick
up,
for
as
just
he
a
said.
couple minutes. I'll see how it goes, but yeah, because these burritos are gonna come out bomb.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not jealous at all. Yeah. Is he coming up?
He requested.
There he is.
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. So I was just saying in chat, I was analyzing my diet, listening to the conversation. I realized I wouldn't have to make many cuts. I don't eat meat often. Cheese is probably the biggest thing for me.
Take the two white ones,
Hold on,
please,
wait a minute.
and the green one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so cheese is one of the biggest things for you. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So I was analyzing my diet. I'm thinking wow, what I actually have to do to be vegan, and I'm realizing cheese and I have meat maybe twice a week, I guess.
Yeah.
So changing those wouldn't be hard, but at the same time, I don't know if it's worth the effort for me. It doesn't feel as much of a moral burden to me. I'm not a farmer. I'm not slaughtering animals. It's not my intention. I don't really want that process to be a thing. And there are, very inhumane treatments happening for these animals, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's something I can stand my ground on.
Well, let's explore this because, like, I mean, it's been about 7 years for me now, and I stopped consuming animal products when I was like 32, right? So it was pretty later in life for me, as well. First
Yeah,
thing
I
I
did
want
this
to
at 40, my guy.
Yeah, so the first thing I wanted to mention is like I'm not sure if you're aware of what veganism exactly is, if you've been in the comments for a while now, but it's a principled stance against unnecessarily exploiting other sentient beings. Right? It's not necessarily a diet. So we're not considering our dietary habits here. We're considering like the oppression that we are unnecessarily causing towards these other beings. So for me, like the very fact that somebody else can experience oppression is reason enough for me to abstain from it, even if like it causes me a brief inconvenience because I really enjoy a specific food, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I totally get that. I guess how else would you make the principled stance though if it wasn't diet?
So like, or do you mind elaborating what you mean by that? Like, are you talking about like how could you still like contribute to exploitation but not? Like, I don't. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Not so much that. I'm saying like how could you practice veganism? Like I feel like I'm a person who's against those things, right? Like
Oh, I got you.
it sounds like a principle that I would say is valid, and
Yeah.
but it's how do you practice that if you outside of just changing your diet?
So you understand what exploitation is, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, I figured you did. I just always ask. So, like, I mean, just any like area where we practically or possibly could, anything that we know is unequivocally like exploitive, and we can absolutely do without. We just abstain from like consuming that product, right? We understand that there are circumstances like certain medications or even people in different geographical regions that do have to rely on some animal exploitation. But even in those instances, you can still abstain from the areas where like, you can avoid doing that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. I would say then I probably am like a vegan who's not hard and fast on it. Like, I don't know how else I would describe myself because I haven't changed my diet, but I also don't pursue out products that I know are exploitative or are exploitative.
So here's a recommendation for you. VSL has these resources here. If you do agree with the ethics, like look into these resources. They're free. Some of them are documentaries that shows like the consequences of our actions from our consumption, and then others like that have like free resources that can help you like look into changing your consumption in a practical way to your lifestyle.
Yeah, and even beyond that, give me a follow, man. I think one of the hardest things I ran into. You look like I got a gray beard like I do. So one of the things I ran into is difficult changing up some of my staples. So like, hit me up if you're trying to make some food or you're not sure, whatever. You want to know a good replacement or a staple. Like I'm a pretty good cook. I know my way around the kitchen. I know what to get. And even beyond that, it's just just kind of figuring out like what am I doing or what am I paying for? And where's that money going? It's almost like a libertarian type of thing where you're voting with your wallet and saying, I'm not gonna pay for this thing because it doesn't benefit me and it actually hurts other, people and beings and stuff like that. And if you start, I don't know, it gets a little rough because after like 7 years, I'm still like constantly like caught off guard by the just out of pocket shit they do to fucking animals. But if you ever need any tips on what to cook or, I bought boots at the Big Five. I just asked the dude there and he was super nice and directed me towards some like non-leather boots so I could run around out here on my property, just little stuff like that. It's not hard.
I definitely think it's something that's worth practicing. So I will look into it. I did screenshot the sources.
Awesome. I would also say like Well, when it comes to your food, the easiest thing also is just to type in your favorite meal and then put the word vegan next to it. Somebody's made it vegan, I guarantee it. And this, you could do the same thing with any other product. You know, if you're looking for gloves, shoes, anything, just type vegan next to it and you'll find brand names, things that are close to you. And there's even apps that you can like just scan barcodes and it'll tell you if it's vegan or not.
Yeah, and if you still do wear combat boots, I did find a legitimate combat boot that's actually used in the services and like the some of the elite units that's just made of synthetic products too.
And there's a lot of stuff out there that's just already vegan, like a lot of shirts, pants, shoes, stuff like that. I mean, you got to keep an eye out, but I mean, I'm wearing some Pumas right now, not a shred of animal product on them. They're comfortable. They get me around the block when I help the neighbor walk his dog or go visit the piggies, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look into the specifics, but like most shoes I wear are like hemp and cotton, not a lot of leather, things like that.
So you're already like
combat boots anymore.
You're already like on the precipice there. You're already making like these good choices in your life and watching what you buy and voting with your wallet.
Yeah, Mike, the only reason I looked into like a new set of boots was because like of the farm work I do and like how wet I get. So
Yeah, totally understandable. I'm lucky not to have to do that, I guess. But if you enjoy it, more power to you.
Yeah, I would just say, like, at least watch that documentary and then just ask yourself if you want to continue supporting that. Because that's really what it comes down to is, this shows you not just factory farming. It shows you small farms, small local slaughterhouses, all these situations where we think because they're so small, there's more attention to the details. There's still just no right way. Every time I see slaughterhouse footage, even in these small facilities that take the extra time and present themselves as if they care, they're still taking the life of an animal, and it's always hard to watch because that individual wanted to live. And when you realize that and that they're only there because you demand them, it becomes harder then to buy those products because you know what's behind it. Go ahead, Isel. Sorry.
I was just going to say, yeah, Mike, thanks for coming up and having the discussion with us.
Yeah, thanks for being open to it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, I would say also, if you do watch Dominion or if you check out any of those resources, reach out to Ozell or Ozell or any of us, if you have questions or if it made you feel any different, because really this is the main motivator, is seeing the truth. So I would love to know if it made a difference for you. And it's fine if you want to reach out to Ozell instead, because you actually have a connection with him. He's great. Oh no, I hope that was an accident. I did not drop him, I swear. But I appreciate him coming up. That was really sweet. And I appreciate, Ozell, you taking the time to pull someone up that you've seen in other debates with you. And you're like, hey, let's have this conversation out of respect.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I saw him mentioned in the like he seemed curious. So I was like, let's have a discussion.
Hell yeah. All right.
Ben's having to school these guys on hunting and what conservation actually is down here.
Oh man. They're talking to the best person to talk about that subject. Ben is definitely king in that topic for sure.
These hunters think it's just donating money and unaliving animals. They don't know nothing about clean burns and desolation forests, making swales for water travel, digging out creeks so salmon can get by. There's so much stuff. We have the California Conservation Corps out here, and they do a lot of stuff out on the land to make sure that the animals can pass through and have access and stuff like that.
Yeah. What frustrates me the most with hunters is just that most of the time, I don't actually have any stats, but in my head it feels like 90%, they don't honestly care about the effects of the environment. They just care about their experiences in that environment, right? That it feels like I'm out in the woods are covered in trees. They care about that environment for themselves. But they don't ever actually look into actual conservation as far as actually helping the area. It just seems like they just jump to the gun because it's entertaining and fun and they get benefits from it. They get to eat their flesh.
They're like, oh, this money goes to, it's like, bro, what if we set up a system where everybody gives a little bit of money to help the government to a thing. Almost seems novel, doesn't it?
The thing that gets me are the chronic wasting disease bros that are like using chronic wasting disease as a reason to hunt, but like themselves, they're going out and like targeting the healthiest deer that they can find. It's like the most hypocritical and ridiculous thing ever.
And it's just, I don't know, what if people were doing this to cats and dogs? I mean, it happens in other nations, but if we saw this in front of our own eyes, someone hunting down cats and dogs, I would lose my effing mind. I'd be screaming and running after. I guarantee most of my neighbors would. I live in a neighborhood surrounded by dog owners, people, caring for their companions that are dogs. And I guarantee if anybody saw someone hunting dogs, they would try to stop them because they would find that immoral. Like, just because they're overpopulated, let's find another way. We can help them and us. But taking their life isn't the answer. It should be the last, scenario, and if we really need to do something about it. But anyway, I'm not the expert on this one. I just think that we should respect everybody. If you want to know the actual statistics behind all of this, definitely Ben the Vegan Farmer. Go check him out because he has
if we want to get down
knowledge.
To the nitty gritty here, I don't think that it's fair to go force some other being into a game of life and death against their will without any consent and to chase them down. You have the upper hand, you have the intelligence, you have the weapons, and they call it sport. It's not sport. It's just macho man cruel bullshit. And they go buy a hunting license and unalive a deer and pat themselves on the back and call it conversation. Like, go fuck yourselves.
Well put. Well put. Did you guys want to add anything?
No.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to call it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to call it here. I won't be live Wednesday. I'm going to try to be live on Friday. I got sick, actually. I was going to go live on Friday, and out of the blue, I got a sinus infection. I woke up and I just had a clog. I slept with my mouth open and near my fan. And I could not get rid of that blockage, and I didn't want to go live with it. Ooh, that's not okay. Can someone, I'll do it. I got it. Okay. That's not okay, guy. Yeah. Yeah, that's not okay.
No.
Oh, I thought I deleted it.
Me up. What time are you back on Friday?
I'll be back Friday about 4:22ish, and then we'll also be I'll be back on the streets with anti-animal use. So if you want to check us out on YouTube, anti-animal use will be live 10 a.m. to 2. Oh gosh, actually I forgot. We're gonna be live 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. because we're gonna be doing something beforehand. So everyone keep an eye on anti-animal use on Saturday. It's going to be a full day of greatness. So
I wanted to ask you about that, actually.
Please.
I don't know if who you work for or who you're with operates anywhere locally near me, but if you can give me resources to see if they do, that'd be great.
So anti-animal use is just my creation. I founded it with someone else, and
I gotcha. So are you when you're doing street activism, is that what you're? Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let's set up some chapters then.
Yeah, let's set up some
let's do it.
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
Honestly, I kind of want and I have a co-founder, so I don't know what her goals are, but my goal is really to have anti-animal use just be anybody's embodiment, because anti-animal use is pretty straightforward. It's kind of I don't know if this will mess up my life, but we're at the end anyway. But it's like anti-fascism, right? It's pretty clear, straightforward. You don't have to be part of a group, right? You're against fascism. I want anti-animal use to be the same thing. You're against animal use, but I want it to be about being active about it, I want it.
Just protect it, because we all saw what happened with Anonymous for the Voiceless a few years back, and we know how that went. So just be careful. Yeah. We're rooting for you,
Yeah. I don't like the idea of having a head of a movement, It's all of us together doing our part to fight for these individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
Anonymous,
so,
right? Like how
Yeah.
anonymous is everybody's anonymous.
Exactly. Exactly. So if we do like anti-animal use chapters, it'll be like you are independent on your own. You're just telling people I am anti-animal use.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I need
It's a good approach. We'll have to get together like and exchange some imagery. It sounds like a good fun approach.
I
Yeah.
need to
I would
find
love to
some
do
local
that.
allies because I feel like if I do it alone in Arkansas, I'm going to get
Yes.
assaulted.
Yes. Yes.
I don't
So
know.
what
You're
I
a
would
pretty
say
big
is
dude. I feel like if anybody's
yeah.
going to get away with it, it's you, bro. Just go out there
Yeah,
with like a
that's true.
tank top and just flex on them. Be like, you care about animals, bro?
what I would like go on Facebook and find any like vegan groups or even vegan adjacent groups because there's going to be vegans possibly in there, and you might be able to find some allies. Because what I had to do to find people is I took over the AV chapter in my area, and there were people that were coming to AV, but there were things happening in AV that we didn't really care for, so we created anti-animal use together out of that. But what was nice about having AV is that, everyone could find it, so that was convenient.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, like...
I know how to make like web domains and websites and stuff.
Sweet. Go ahead, Ozell, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's why I was asking. I wasn't sure if you were still with them or not. I couldn't recall who it was, but I did hear some stuff too, so I'm glad that you guys kind of branched out and started doing your own things.
Hell yeah. Yeah, the only reason actually that I totally stopped AV, because I feel like AV is also like kind of independent, that you do have to talk to your higher ups, but ultimately you're in control of that area and how everything is presented. So AV isn't, in my opinion, like terrible, but where I'm at, the city I'm in, they don't support AV at all. All the vegan groups that I know of, they have it even in their rules to avoid supporting Anonymous for the Voiceless. So that's why I stopped having AV events, because I wasn't able to advertise them. I had my own page and that was it. And it didn't get much reach.
The original people that started it were like you, and then those two dudes like took it over and put themselves at the top and just market themselves, and then they're like, we're like the gurus of be. Don't even start it anyway. There's a bunch of paperwork too to back up how they like basically stole the trademark and stuff from the original owners. It's like a really deep thing that went on down there.
Wow, I don't even think I knew that. Like, I knew some of the stuff. There's like little things here and there that you learn about. I didn't learn about that though. I'm going to look into that. But yeah, that's where anti-animal use came from. But what I would also say is maybe go on to YouTube. There are other YouTube vegans that might be in your area too, because I have there's Daniel Broccoli. He's like right in my area, and he's also an ally. He comes out to anti-animal use. So I don't know. They're probably, you'll find them. I would love to help you, Ozell, though. I would love to help you get out on the streets. So we'll talk offline, because now I don't know what to say. But we'll figure this out. I like the idea of having chapters out there. That's a great idea. I want everyone to have the confidence and space to get out there.
Yeah, for sure. No, I figured I'd ask since you mentioned it. It's been something I've been meaning to ask, but just never remember because these conversations get hectic, and I'm just...
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, and your area would be super interesting to see being interviewed, honestly. So yeah, I'm very eager if you were ever willing to do it. I don't want you to be in harm's way, of course. If we could find a way for you to be totally
I'm in an
safe.
interesting area. I could probably barely count the MAGA signs from the highway to my house on both hands and feet.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, don't put yourself in harm's way, but, I'm sure there are people you could meet with. And I would also, wherever you do have your events, make it in places where people are already kind of in good moods, like at parks or, places where people are already in leisure, because you're going to have less often angry opposition.
I'll do it in front
Natalie
of
Fulton be having like a cooler full of beer for him.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do it in front of the local Tyson plant.
Have a cup of beer and listen to my story.
No, seriously, there's like 120 minutes from me, and I'm just like every time I drive by it, I'm just like, oh man, should I do the direct action or no? I'm just kidding,
man. I was gonna say the Tyson one might be. What you can do is is it a slaughterhouse or is it processing?
I don't think it's a slaughterhouse. I think
Oh,
it's
okay.
processing or where they're.
Well-
no, it's not a plant. It's where they're raising chickens.
Oh,
The entire drive up to my house, once you hit a certain point, is all like cow pastures. There's a couple chicken warehouses. There's a bunch of like homesteaders. Don't even get me started. They really fancy themselves anyway. Yeah. So it's really interesting out here because I'm like in Cali, but I'm in like a very conservative area of Cali.
We got one of the Jimmy Dean slaughterhouses shut down here in Los Angeles.
Well done.
I heard. Good.
Yeah, after decades.
That is awesome.
I don't know where they went or if they were bought up by somebody else, but probably.
Something else that is a great idea to do to places like that is kind of like, I don't know if you've seen the vigil videos that I did, or vigil video. We did one live at the front of a slaughterhouse, but even in front of like a factory farm location or a processing plant, even going live in front of there and just talking to the people in your chat, either on TikTok or YouTube or whatever platform you're on, and just talking to them about what you're seeing, what happens in there. That can also be actually quite moving. And it also changes it up from just doing the debates online, but also going out, and that is a direct action. You know, you're not only shining a spotlight on the place, but you're also bringing people that are not vegan to the places they don't want to look at, even though they're not going to see anything grotesque. You know, talking about what this place does, what it does to the workers, what it does to the animals. You know, it still has a huge, profound effect on people watching. So,
and it is crazy, like, because like this area specifically, like it really, like, they focus heavily on migrant workers, you know, on the farms or in those, like on those like factory farms and stuff like that. I mean, which is just, it's weird. It's sad.
It's not fair because they're definitely taking advantage of someone who's in a desperate situation.
Yeah, but it's even crazier because it's such a conservative area. Like this is probably one of the most conservative counties in the whole country. So it's like, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, like I said, be safe. Don't do anything that might put you in a uncomfortable predicament. But, you know, I'd say the first step, if you wanted to dip your toe towards that street outreach, would be just looking for allies. And I usually found them by going on Facebook, looking up my area and typing vegan. And I found a couple of different groups that I reach out to now. So.
Yeah, I'll have to consider that. I haven't had Facebook since 2023, so maybe.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I don't know if Facebook is necessarily the reliable. It's just in my area it is. Instagram probably is another great resource of people posting what they're doing. You'll probably find, vegans that are in your city. I have found that Instagram and Facebook are like the two places that I find the groups.
Yeah, that's what I was reconsidering because I was like protesting Meta for a while for their lobbying against TikTok, which is why I.
Oh yeah, they're both Meta, huh?
Yeah.
Ah, damn. Well, there's other ways to find people around you. You don't have to use Meta. I don't want you to go against your ethics on that. You know, I also hate billionaires, so I don't know. We'll think about it. I do appreciate your interest on it.
Yeah.
Say it again.
I was saying, don't we all?
Oh yeah, exactly. We all,
Like
yeah,
billionaires.
exactly.
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm gonna end it there. I appreciate y'all being up here. Hell yeah.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Friday. Yeah. You too. I'll see y'all on Friday and Saturday. You guys have a great vegan day. All right, see ya. And then YouTube, you're gonna stick with me for a second. You won't hear me anymore, but you'll see my face. Actually, you won't even see that. You're just gonna be in the chat without me because I'm not hooked up to the computer. Anyway, guys, have a great day. Oh, Universe, are you gonna go live? I didn't ask anybody on my panel if they're gonna go live soon. If anybody, go follow all the vegans. I always say that too. I didn't say that today. Any vegans that was up here or in the chat, please go follow them. If you're a vegan, type 1 in the chat. And if you're not vegan, type a 2. And if you're a 2 and you see a 1, go reach out to them, go follow them. There you go. Yeah, Universe will be live. Go check out Universe's live. We had Ozell. We had Two Spirit Veg. We had OD. We had, oh God, who was, oh my gosh, I'm brain farting. I forgot your name. Why can't I remember? Big Nick Energy. I don't know why that was slipping in my brain. I was like, I know your name. Why is it not coming to my brain? Anyway, go follow them. Yeah, Big Nick Energy. Go follow them. They're great animal rights activists. They put out great content and they go live. They go on other vegans' lives so you can find other vegans. So please go follow them. I see Universe is in there. I see Keith is in there. Cole, Sevenfold, Vegan Siren. Let's see if they're there. Yeah, so go check out those vegans, okay? And I will see you on Friday. If not, I'll see you Saturday on YouTube on anti-animal use.
Everything. When I didn't know that, I assumed when I got to 10K, when I enrolled to be in the Creator Rewards program, I assumed that I'll get, I could get GIFTs on my videos, on my content as well. That was not the case. I had to enroll in that